Hey, everybody. GameHounds podcast. We are here. We're actually earlier than we normally are. We are 2 minutes earlier from our normally late time. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
I got me, Edie Sellers, Nick DiNicola. So, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice. I got it.
You got the sickness?
Yeah, I didn't get it from Chris.
Oh,
I
really? I
survived
was gonna
Chris.
say, like,
I
I
survived Chris because it was more than a week before I came down with it. Because it was what? It's been 2 weeks since
where
he's
do you
been
think you
sick.
got it?
His dad. So
Wait, did Chris give
94-year-old.
it to his dad?
No,
How is that? Literally, how is that possible?
because his dad is an old man who goes to the VA and caught it at the VA or somewhere out there. And his dad, bless that 94-year-old man's heart, he's a very sweet guy, but he has no. Here's the thing about the Conways. They're very, very smart people, but they really shouldn't be last name Conway. Last name should be Dunning-Kruger.
Oh,
They're so smart that they just decide something and think it's true. Chris's dad says he is lactose intolerant, which is why we have to buy lactose-free milk. Meanwhile, I make him grilled cheese sandwiches and mac and cheese, and he loves cheese pasta, and he has pizza at least a couple times a week, and he says, "Well, there's not that much lactose in cheese." I'm like, "Cheese is 100% lactose. What do you think cheese is made of?"
it's a it's
It's
it's a selective
concentrated
lactose
milk.
intolerance.
It is like 10 glasses of milk in a bite of cheese. So, bottom
Have you
line,
tried the lactose-free milk and like regular milk next to each other?
see,
See,
that's
like,
where it came up, is they were out of lactose-free milk at Costco, we had to buy regular milk, and I'm like, "Well, let's just see." And as soon as Chris walks in the door, he says, "Well, we had to buy regular milk." Well, Chris,
oh,
shit, now he's gonna say he's lactose intolerant. "Oh, I'm horribly lactose intolerant," as he's eating a chicken enchilada.
maybe
So,
he just likes the flavor of the lactose-free milk better.
no, no, the lactose-free milk is awful. So anyway,
You
at
think
least
it's
the
awful.
Costco stuff. Fun fact, the Costco stuff, lactose-free milk is terrible. The best lactose-free milk is the most expensive. That Fairlife stuff is pretty fucking good. Anyway, he also has no concept of snot equals virus. And you rub it on your hand, and then you rub it on a table, or you rub it on yourself, or you leave a snot rag for other people to pick up because the man does not pick up after himself. So he leaves snot rags all over the house that I end up picking up. So the girl child and I both came down with the cold. She got it 2 days before her final exams.
Oh, oh my god.
I
Oh,
got
that
it.
sucks.
I got it
That's
3 days before my birthday.
I still can remember like getting sick in school and like, well, I can't fucking miss school, so I'm just gonna go to school sick and spread the disease
That's
like the
exactly
little
what she had to
plague
do.
bearer I am. But
Yep.
like I would be there taking a test and it's dead silent because everyone's taking the test, but my head is down, so my nose right. So it's just and it's like, God damn it, everybody fucking knows. And I hated that.
Yeah.
I
Just
still remember that feeling to this day.
Yep, me too. Just going to
Oh,
school, sick as shit, not even thinking about it. Well, 94-year-old dad is of that same world, doesn't understand that these snot rags that you leave all over. And he calls them, oh, they're just my napkins. No, they're not. You're rubbing them all over your nose and you're blowing your nose into them and you're putting them on the couch, leaving them for me to pick up. So yeah, I came down with it 3 days ago. Actually, really 4 days ago. So I'm at the final stage. I'm
Okay, so
in the it never went to my chest, thank God. So
so you
I'm
might be feeling better by the time Christmas actually rolls around.
yeah, I'm feeling pretty good now. I had a rough night's sleep because of coughing, the dry cough. It's not in my chest, but there is a dry cough. And there's a little bit of schmutz that sinks down into my chest, but into my throat, but it's not actually in my chest. So it'll be gone before
Out of
Christmas.
curiosity, can you hear the cat?
No.
Okay, because he's purring like a buzzsaw.
There we go. I caught a little bit of it there.
Hey, Bingo.
Oh, it's Bingo in the room? Hey,
Yeah,
Bingo.
Bingo Healer.
Hey, Bingo.
And AC Ray wishes you a happy early birthday. Happy early birthday.
Who? Oh,
AC
thank
Ray.
you, AC Wraith. Yeah, tomorrow. I am.
Any plans for it, or is it just too close to Christmas and the birthday will be celebrated later?
I have to work.
Oh, fuck that.
Mm-mm. Nick is my babe. Hey, Sherilyn. He is the babe. He's the cat babe. All the cats love him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Thank you
Shepherd.
for punctuating that, Shepherd. Um.
Yeah, working on your. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I gotta be there early because we have 2 times a month we have the formal, full on all company staff meeting, dress up, makeup on, agendize the whole 9 yards. Twice a month is just the local meeting, which is just essentially just going around the table and checking in.
So you're
This
having
is
like the big fancy meeting.
yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really late. Way back, like way back in the month. Late in
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah. I have a feeling everybody's gonna be on Zoom except for me. And if that's the case, then I'm leaving right after the
Yes,
meeting.
as you should.
So let's start the show, and then I'll get into an interesting conversation I had with an old friend yesterday.
Okay.
If I can freaking find the music. Okay, here we go. Starting the show.
This podcast discusses video
There we
games, pop culture, and technology, and these podcasters have big, fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom said to take out the trash and do your homework.
Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 802. We are recording this on Sunday, December 21st, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me is Nick and Nicola. All right. So, interesting phone call I got yesterday.
Okay.
So, to back up, when I was in high school, in my senior year, I dated a guy. I went to one high school. He went to another high school. It was about 20 miles away. We met in a radio regional occupation program doing radio, and I dated him. His name was Dave. Dave's best friend in high school and all of his life was Greg. Dave and I dated in high school. We broke up, but we ended up being going to San Francisco State. Greg for journalism, Dave for radio, me for communications. And we all, because we knew each other, hung out in college, and we stayed friends all through college.
Okay.
And when I got out of college, Greg got his first job was at a newspaper called the San Francisco Independent. And Greg hired me as a stringer. He was a sports editor. He hired me as a stringer to cover baseball, high school baseball and high school softball games. That was my first writing gig. Had no experience in it, didn't know how to do it. Greg's like, it's easy. I'll show you how to do it. So he taught me how to do it. From there, I got hired as a columnist or as a as a Sunday like like those inserts that they put in for Sunday and they do puff pieces inside of those. I got hired to do puff
No,
pieces as a
I
stringer.
don't. Because do you know the
Yep.
last time I read a newspaper?
All right. Well, they have that. They used to have that.
Okay.
And then I got hired as a neighborhood editor, and that is where I worked for almost 10 years.
Okay.
Right out of college. That was my first and then from there, the company that owned the Independent bought the Examiner, so I ended up becoming a columnist for the Examiner, and ended up being a film critic for them as well. And then also that springboarded me into becoming a talk show host at KGO. So Greg, Dave, and I have been inexorably connected to each other since our childhood. Dave, Greg, and I all got ordained in college back in the day when you had to write a piece of paper, put your information
Like
in.
married people ordained?
With the Universal Life Church. Back when you had to put a $10 bill into an envelope and mail it to them to become ordained. And we all agreed that we were going to marry, perform the ceremonies for each other if we ever got married. I performed Greg's ceremony for second wife. He got married once, divorced, and then the second time I performed a ceremony.
It didn't count because you didn't do it. He's like, oh shit. Nope, got to do it again.
She was too precious for somebody like me. Both Dave and Greg performed the ceremony of I couldn't choose one or the other, so they both did it. I had both of them do my wedding. Dave, he had a destination wedding, and Greg and I didn't go, so
like,
we
nah,
did
that's too much.
Yeah, but so we've been all connected to each other, and Greg is now in Atlanta, Georgia, or the thereabouts area, as he's a high school teacher now. Journalism, of course, fell apart, so he became a high school teacher. He said that he got his master's in education. And then when he got done with that, he realized, and I haven't talked to him in probably a year and a half, 2 years, probably, yeah, close to more than 2 years. He got his master's in education, and then he realized he had all this free time, and he decided to sit down and write a book. So he wrote a novel. And we're all baseball fans. We're all huge baseball fans. Greg called me to ask me to write him an email giving him permission to use my name in his novel as a character.
Okay.
And I had to ask what I am. And he said, you are the head of media relations for the San Francisco Giants, trying to deflect an uncomfortable situation for one of the players.
Okay,
A
that's a
delicate
fun scene.
situation for one of the players. And I'm like, you couldn't have picked a better character for me. And I had to tell him about Chris, and he's like, wait, he likes baseball? He's from LA. He's not a Dodger fan, is he? I'm like, he's such a Dodger fan. He goes, oh, dude, why? That wasn't a deal breaker. And I'm like, it almost was. It almost was.
I just don't get you sports people.
But I did say you can use my name on one condition. Apparently it is set. It's set a few years ago, but the players that he refers to are actually real players.
Okay, does he need to get their permission?
No, because they're public figures. He can use their names.
Okay.
But I said, okay, and the Dodgers do feature prominently in the story.
Okay.
And I said, all right, you have to make sure, and this is a condition of
using your name?
Of using my name, is that if you refer to the pitcher, Clayton Kershaw, who is Dodger great pitcher just retired this year.
Mm-hmm.
Goes, if you refer to Kershaw, I require that you have me refer to him as Chokeshaw at least once. Because that's kind of his nickname. He's kind of known for choking. I mean, he's a great pitcher, but he's also known for choking. And he gained the name Chokeshaw. And it is the only thing, like Chris is constantly digging at me, like a fucking Dodger fan always fucking does. Just digging at me. And he always gets a rise out of me, so because I fucking hate the Dodgers. But the only time that I can ever get one back on him, and I could see the rage in his eye when I say
I was
it.
gonna say like the single tear falling down.
No, like the twitch. It's like the little twitch in his eye
yeah.
when I say it. When I call Clayton Kershaw Chokeshaw. So it's like, all right, just make sure in this book that I refer to him Chokeshaw once, because I know that Chris is going to read that book, and I know that he's going to read the word Chokeshaw spoken by me, and he's going to know exactly who required it to be in there.
The Dodgers won the World Series, right?
Yes, last 2 years, bastards.
2 years in a row?
Well, when you buy
Anyways,
World
I
Series,
was just gonna say like
the Dodgers fans were angry because we didn't just hand them the trophy at the beginning. They almost lost the series. The only reason why they won that series this year is because of a broken bat in the last swing. If that bat hadn't broken and that had been a line drive, the game was over. They would have lost to Toronto.
I just feel like it's funny that he would get so upset at you saying Chokeshaw when he's like, well, you know, the rings.
Right, that's what it is. Oh, the rings. Oh, the rings. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Chokeshaw. Apparently he didn't choke that much.
No, he didn't. He was man, he's not here, so I can say it. He was an excellent pitcher, a fantastic pitcher. He left at the top of his game. He did a great job. He left. He actually
he's no longer there.
Left. No, he retired.
But
I
that's why he's
at
in
the beginning of I don't think he went all the way through the World Series, or he played.
Okay, so he
one
retired
game in the
this
World
season,
Series.
so that's why he's in the book, because when it takes place, he's still the pitcher.
He's still a pitcher.
Okay,
He's still playing.
okay.
So I'm like, oh yeah, you definitely have to make me say Chokeshaw at least once.
Just gotta find a way to get it in there. Look, like that's the author's privilege, right? We can do anything. We can concoct any situation.
Well, this is my get back to him. The first night that I spent the night over there, you know, you're staying over at somebody's house for the first time. It's a little awkward. And he's like, oh, would you like a glass of water for the night? And I'm like, oh yeah, that would be nice. Now I don't normally have a glass of water at the night, but I thought that was very nice. So he gets me a glass of water on the nightstand, and it's, you know, I put it on the nightstand and I go to sleep and I sip out of it, you know, like when I roll over it and I'm like, oh yeah, there's some water there. And I have a sip. And the next morning I wake up and it's still like 3/4 full. And I'm like, I should drink that. So I grab that glass of water and I do what I normally do. If I'm going to got a glass of water, I'll just chug the rest of it. So I start chugging the rest of it. And he's got this, and it's one of those like pint beer glasses. But I didn't notice that it was a Dodgers pint glass. And this particular glass, at the very, very bottom of the glass, it's got LA, the Dodgers logo at the bottom. So I'm sitting there drinking, right? And I'm like this. And when I get to about here, I look down the glass and it's the Dodgers logo staring back at me. And I'm like, motherfucker, you did that on fucking purpose. And I didn't say anything about it for quite some time. But I finally did mention, I'm like, I have to get you mad props. That was a good one. He goes, yeah, it was, wasn't it? You didn't say anything. I'm like, nope, I sure didn't. I wasn't going to do it then. But I will give you credit. That was pretty funny. I thought it was hilarious. Made me mad, but it was hilarious.
He also salted the water just for like salting
No.
the wound.
He would never have done that. That would have just been mean. This was just a dig. Mia, you cannot. I love you. You cannot just pile up behind me.
Oh, that's where pets love to go, though. They love to get in that little crook
You're
between you and the
a
couch.
tiny dog. Why are you so hard to move?
Anyway,
She's
well,
literally
that's cool.
pushing me forward on the couch.
Does he have like a timeline for when he'll put the book out, or is it just like kind of still a hobby at
needs
this
to
point?
She's moving right back to the spot.
Oh yeah, always.
Oh, there.
That's
No,
what
no,
they
no.
do.
She's settling in. Okay, good. It's in the rewrite stage. It needs a lot of cutting. He's got to go. He's done all the work. He's done the whole thing. He's done the whole story. Now it's like essentially editing it down to a reasonable size. He says it's
Okay.
about
I'd be curious to hear about his forays into publishing, because that's apparently like a nightmare. As with
well, he's got
as with every other, form of paid writing gig in 2025. So I'd be curious what he does.
right. He's got a mentor that has a published author, so she's kind of walking him through it. But yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, that's nice. He has like a contact who's done all that before. That probably helps.
Yep. So so yeah, that's the phone call I got yesterday. So apparently I'm going to be in a book. I don't know if it's ever going to get published, but I am going to be able to read the early copies, and I'll make sure Chris reads it too.
At the very least, you can have a draft to give to Chris.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm going to have him read it as well. I mean, input is input for an author. When you got a book, somebody needs input, but like, all right, how is it? Like, give me feedback before it actually goes to print.
Does he read a lot? I know you read a lot. You read like a shocking amount. Like your Kindle is like 365 check marks every day.
I am. I'm so angry that my Kindle desynced from my
you lost the streak.
I lost the streak. So
I mean, at that point, you may as well just stop reading.
That was quite some time ago. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see. Where is my in classic reading insights? All right. So my longest weekly streak that got broken by it being desynced.
What is? I don't actually have my phone with me. What's
279 weeks? My daily streak was 199 days. Oh, that's actually this year. 199 days is my daily streak record.
Wow, 279 weeks. Do you know how long that is?
Yeah.
That's 5 years and 20 weeks.
My current streak is 108.
108 weeks. Okay. That's almost exactly 2 years.
Yeah, and the only reason my daily streak got broken, I don't know if you could see the days, the 5th and the 6th.
Yeah.
That was
Friday,
the Christmas
Saturday?
parties. The Christmas party.
Yes.
I was too drunk to read before I went to bed. The bed was spinning. It's spinning.
I mean, can you just like open the Kindle app and then close it?
No, you actually do have to do some reading. But yeah, no, I'm a voracious reader. According to this year, I finished 21 books.
Oh my God. So does Chris read a lot? Like,
no, but I think if I put a book in his hand, I probably will. In fact, I'm giving him books for Christmas, baseball books for Christmas.
Okay.
I was thinking of giving him a Choke poster, but and it's like a poster that actually makes fun of Kershaw choking. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not mean like a Dodger fan.
That's a birthday gift.
Maybe. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Hey, look at all these new people. Where are you from, madam? We both, Nick and I, are in California, which is why we're going so, like dinner time or near dinner time on the East Coast, because we are constantly struggling to wake up early to.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 o'clock on the East Coast.
All right. Well, that's when it's Sunday. That's when you start. That's when you start preparing for Sunday dinner.
No.
What? You don't do Sunday dinner?
Like we eat dinner around 7.
But isn't Sunday dinner something like, like you make something special Sunday dinner?
Not really. We just get food.
Hey, Ass, good to see you too.
Anyways, that's way too early to start dinner.
Page Hounds. Chaos says Page Hounds coming in 2026. No, we're not being Page Hounds.
I don't read enough books for that, ironically. I read a lot of comics. I could do that, but not enough books.
Yeah.
Israel says, I haven't read much in ages, not even webcomics.
Oh no, every single night. I'm reading a series now called Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's all right.
I've heard a lot about that. I've just heard that it's really
it.
popular.
I just started it. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Okay.
I've had, I mean, it's a standard trope on the RPG lit sort of like, you know, some guy wakes up and finds himself in a dungeon. It's not so far my favorite. I found actually one that is very similar to that called Discount Dan.
These
And I'm really, really enjoying that one. But unfortunately, it's a fairly early series, so I'm like waiting for the next thing. Essentially, I have Kindle Unlimited, which allows you to check out books for free. Not all books, but a very vast selection of books. And so I have all of these series that I've read all the way up to the most recent entry. And the way I remember that I need to go back to that series is I just keep the most recent book on my in my catalog.
Yeah.
So, like when I end a book, then I go back to see, all right, let me check to see if any of these have come out. And I've now run out of space. I have to abandon a series.
Okay. If it's been that long since you picked up the sequel, it's probably not worth picking up the sequel.
No, a lot of people no, there's some of the better authors take a very, very long time to get their books out, or they'll be working on multiple series. So they're working on this series and then they take a break and then they work on this series and then they come back to this series. So it could be like a year, 2 years. Noobtown, the Mayor of Noobtown series is like that, where Ryan Rimmel, the author of that. Yeah. Noobtown is really, really good. I really like that. What is it? It's not Ascend Online. What's the one that is
Awaken Online?
the Awaken
I've heard
Online?
about that.
That series is so good, but man, he's very, very slow to write.
There's already like 12 books out, aren't there?
What? Yeah, there's at least 12. Because it's not only just the series, the main story, but there's all these branching stories that go off of it. And then, of course, those branching stories kind of get included into the main story. I've read them all, and I'm dying for the next one to come out, but he is a very slow author to come out. It's really frustrating how slow he is. And then another author that I really, really like, who she's created kind of a universe around like post-magical apocalypse Detroit. Her name is Rachel Aaron, and she kind of just writes within this universe. So she kind of creates characters in like these mini series within these universes. And it started with, I think it's called Good Dragons Finish Last or something, and it's essentially about a guy who is also a dragon, and dragons live in this kind of world where it's a very complex political landscape of magical beings around what they call the DMZ or the DFZ, the Detroit Free Zone, where it is essentially a magical
Detroit
city.
Free Zone?
Detroit Free Zone.
I thought, why? Not demilitarized zone.
No, it's Detroit Free Zone because Detroit was where there was a magical apocalypse. All the magic in the world that went away prehistory, so we had no idea about it, is all kind of sitting around waiting to come out. And one day, all of that magic bursts forth in Detroit.
Somebody has a grudge against Detroit.
Well, it actually bursts forth in a lot of places, and it causes
Okay.
mass global chaos. And the way that it's settled, and this is essentially the underpinnings of the books. It's on about this doesn't happen during the books. This happens pre the books. That the way that they've handled all of this magic happening everywhere is to create kind of they negotiated, hey, okay, you can't be everywhere because it causes mass chaos with the non-magical people in this world. You can have Detroit and this Detroit greater metro area. This is the Detroit free zone where magic reigns. Everything's possible. You can do anything. There's no essentially this is your center and you can have this center. Elsewhere, magic is highly regulated, if
Detroit is
not outright
magical.
banned.
I'm speechless. If magic
Well-
is myth, Detroit makes sense.
But yeah, Rachel Aaron has written some fantastic books within the world of the Detroit Free Zone. That have to do with dragons, that have to do
Andrew,
with lots of cool things.
Yeah, the title of your book is I read so many RPG lit that I woke up in a fantasy dungeon.
Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah, and
if it
Ezio
happens,
said-
Nick, find me because I have read all the books.
That's
I
true.
know how to handle this.
Do you know Storm Thief?
I have written the Storm Thief, or I have read the Storm Thief.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Rachel Aaron's, right? Storm Thief?
I don't know. That's just Ezio said that's his favorite book.
I know I've read it. I know I've read it. Then there's a whole massive series that is called The Good Guys and the Bad
Chris Wooding.
Why do I know that name? I must have read it. Because it's definitely a familiar to me. There's another massive series that I also like that's a series that will eat up several months, if not years of your life. That is essentially same idea. It's a world, and people have been from this world have been transported to there. It's kind of a theme, but it's called. There's two big series that are both existing simultaneously in this, and one is called The Good Guys, and one's called The Bad Guys. And both of them are awesome, and they do meet up with each other.
Creativity abounds.
But they're really, really good. It's really about world building and creating these very interesting worlds and doing it in a very funny, dry way. That's why Mayor of Noobtown is so funny. God, that book is so fucking funny.
So yeah,
that guy's
this
funny.
whole genre is American isekai.
Mm-hmm.
Isekai?
Isekai?
Isekai? I think it's isekai, yeah. Yeah, it's American isekai.
Yeah, thank you for the books by Rachel. There you go. There's the books by Rachel Aaron. She's very, very, she was the one that got me into these kinds of books. And thank you for the link to Clayton Chokeshaw. Bastard.
Okay, well, amidst all of this reading,
yes.
Do you have any time to play games?
Yes, I have played a lot of Balatro.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, have I played so much Balatro. The Balatro mobile. I'm looking over at my phone thinking to myself, could I sneak some in while I'm down here? It's the Balatro mobile it was so worth the money, and it's the most money I've ever spent on a mobile game before. I don't do mobile games. I don't like them. It's really, 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 really good, but it is dangerous because it can make you burn a batch of cookies so fucking fast. Oh my god. It's like, okay, 12 minutes. Siri set my alarm for 12 minutes.
Is going off.
Right, exactly. I have wrecked so many meals because it is a spectacularly good series. And if you don't feel like playing it on PC, which, I can understand. I mean, I see why it's good to play it on PC because you cannot. It's a different feel when it's on a PC. Like, you feel like you're playing a game, whereas the mobile game, you can just pull out, and the next thing you know, your battery's dead. You've been playing it that long. You could sit there and play hours and hours on it on a mobile, and it is, well, it's just a really, really good game.
If you just don't get frustrated and quit like I did.
Yeah, you need to go back in. That's the thing is it's hard. It's a game. It has to be hard. It has to be challenging.
But that's what bothered me so much about it is it wasn't hard. It was
Until it got hard.
No, it was here's a problem that you can't overcome. I'm okay with skill checks. I'm okay with bashing my head against a hard boss over and over again until I beat it. I don't like the feeling of I lost before I already began because I like the card it pulled is a card that said, "Hey, that build that you made, it no longer works." So, haha, too bad.
Yep.
You're screwed.
There's an element of luck. There's absolutely an element of luck.
And that is what absolutely kills the game for me. Like, I've thought about going back. I've thought about picking it up. But if there's an element of luck to it, even if it's just a little bit of luck, then it stops being a game and it becomes a slot machine. Then it's just gambling. It's no longer like an interesting tactical strategy game because your strategy can get undone by bad luck. And at that point, if your strategy can get undone by bad luck, then luck is the defining factor in success or failure, not strategy or skill. And at that point, like, why?
Yeah, it is. It's a combination of luck of what jokers you're offered,
and like I only played for like
when you get them.
And I admit I only played for like an hour, so maybe there's nuance in it that I'm missing. But like I encountered what felt like bad luck that was part of the design, not just oh, you had a bad run, but like, oh, I felt like the game bent the laws of the universe to force me to lose. And it was like,
Oh,
well,
no. You took it personal is what you did. It's not personal. It's just the random draw. I had that happen last night where I had this fantastic run to beat this deck. I've been trying to beat this deck. This deck is nothing but hearts and spades. I should be winning this so easy. It should be nothing but flushes. It should be great. And I'm building based on the flushes. I'm building and building, and I get up to the final round, and I've, spec'd it so spades are going to be the ones that give me the multipliers that like give me the, 60, 70,000 point hands.
Mhm.
And the last run, I'm doing fine. I run out of of uh um of discards, but I'm like, I'm okay as long as I get 2 spades in this next draw, I'll be fine. And I get all hearts. It's like, fuck! And it's like,
And so that I feel like is okay because that is the RNG inherent in like the design of poker.
I don't understand why you're okay with RNG, but you're not okay with luck because that's what RNG is.
It's when the game, it's like I said, it's when the luck supersedes any strategy. It's when the bad luck, the way Balatro is designed is like you said, you discard certain cards, you get jokers that augment your hand. You had it so that spades give you so many points. It's a game that encourages you to build out a strategy, to like augment and manipulate your deck in certain ways. And the more you can do that, the more you can focus on making spades the big deck. Oh, I'm going to discard heart cards. I'm going to add spades. I'm going to make the spades into special cards. Like the more you design a build, you are building a character, right? It's like a D&D build. It's your build in any RPG. You're speccing your character. You're speccing your deck. But then there are, It's not just that you got to the hand and the RNG didn't work out. I got to the last hand and it was, hey, all of the hands that you used are no longer give you points. So basically, the game said that build that you made, it no longer works. And that's like the game.
But you
That's
can look
the
ahead and
game.
see what it's gonna be at
But I
the
can't
very
skip
beginning
that.
of that run.
But I can't skip it.
No. But there
And
are things
it felt frustrating because it felt like the game encouraging me to embrace all of the mechanics and then punishing me for embracing all the mechanics. And that's
you
when I
just
was like,
you just play a
this
little bit
is
more, play a
bullshit.
little bit more. You just obviously had a bad run that got under your skin.
But like
Try it again.
but now the well is poisoned and I don't know if I would ever enjoy it because I would just go, oh, I didn't get a good hand. This is bullshit. Fuck this game. Oh, this didn't work. Fuck this game. Like now the well is poisoned and I don't know if I can come back from that.
Yeah.
I
Well,
also just don't like roguelikes because I think the whole genre is like inherently a little bit bullshit.
it is, but that's what makes it challenging. And once you beat your first few decks, then you can actually get challenges. And I haven't played challenges yet. Chris says challenges are really fun.
I would rather just play a good Souls-like game. Just give me
Mm,
a boss with a
True.
bunch of
But
attack moves that I can parry. Like that
but
is
it
my
is
kind
so
of bullshit.
convenient on a phone. It is so convenient on a phone.
That's true. That's nice.
That's where it comes down to, is that you can just grab it and you can play. And it's you don't have to sit down. I would not play Balatro on a PC or on a console. There are other much better games if I have a night of sitting in front of the TV or sitting in front of the monitor with me and a beer and the dogs and my feet up. I'm not going to be playing Balatro. But for a mobile game, just to pick up and it's like you're lying in bed and you're like, all right, I've read all the news. Don't feel like reading. Let's play some Balatro. That's great for that. And you can lose yourself in it for a good long time. Enough to burn cookies on the regular.
Hmm.
That reminds me, I'm making,
That
I've
reminds
got
me, I
for
have
my,
cookies in the oven.
no, no. I am making Christmas cookies this year because last year I couldn't make them, but this year I am making the Christmas cookies and giving out Christmas cookie packs. So I will be bringing over some Christmas cookies
Cool.
and probably some birthday cake. Because if you recall last year, remember I brought you like a quarter of my birthday cake.
Yeah, we had like a slice.
It is unbelievable. We went to Kara's Cakes, and their cakes are just they're so rich and so sweet. But we're getting another Kara's cake, but I made him get a 6-inch. He's like, well, last year we got like a 20-inch. I'm like, how about a 9-inch? I'm like, no, 6-inch. So if there's any cake, I'll bring some over to you.
Okay.
Because nobody needs to eat that much cake with that much sugar.
No. So only Balatro?
She spent $12. Where does she have the time to work and afford that with all this baking and reading? Hey, I'm bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan, and never let you forget you're a
Also,
man
as
kind of
Andy Race
woman.
points out, you visit less auction sites.
No, I actually have been visiting auction sites. I've been getting Christmas presents.
Off auction sites?
So my subordinate
get.
at work, the guy I supervise, who is the operations manager up in the Sacramento office, lovely guy. God, he's such. I think you met him, Neil. He's the one that does cosplaying.
Oh, yes.
And no, that's not why I hired him, but it didn't hurt. I absolutely adore that guy. He is a huge Roman history wonk. I'm a huge Roman history wonk, and he told me about one of his most prized possessions is that he purchased for a not insignificant sum of money an ancient Roman clay oil lamp. And he's like, I just love it because I think to myself, like, this was in somebody's home 2,000 years ago. This somebody made this and they used it, and this was lighting someone's house 2,000 years ago. And here it is in my hand. And like that awesome feeling of,
Yeah, I get that. That's cool.
So I bought him I did this yesterday actually, so it's definitely not going to come before Christmas. but I bought him a set of ancient Roman dice dating back to 180.
That's cool.
Yeah, I figured he'd really
Those are
like
still
that.
usable.
Being, we're both nerds. I saw Roman dice. There's tons of Roman dice out there, by the way. So I saw the Roman dice and I'm like,
Those
oh,
Romans are a bunch of gamblers.
they're not that expensive. So I got him some Roman dice.
That's cool.
He sent me flowers on Friday for my birthday. So that's the kind of relationship we have as a
Nice.
supervisor and supervisee. He's a good guy. I'm keeping him.
Ezra says he likes World War II. Any World War II dice?
Oh, if you
Out
like
there?
oh, Jesus.
There's definitely a lot you
Yeah.
can get from that era.
Yeah. Well, my dad was in World War II, so I've got all the World War II memorabilia, and let's face it, some of it a little problematic. But if you are into World War II stuff and or any war stuff, there's auctions. I can tell you right now, there's an auction going on right now with Spanish American War, not so much some Civil War, lots and lots and lots of World War II memorabilia of both the less problematic and the more problematic type. Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't going to get me like flagged on YouTube and stuff, I'd go right now. I'm sure somebody is selling some kind of that stuff's all over the place on auctions
Auction
all the
sites.
time.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I don't think there's not like a particular era or something that I'm like a fan of that
oh, really?
I collect stuff from.
I got into ancient
Yeah.
Rome. This is kind of really making me feel super fucking old. Are you old enough to remember Masterpiece Theater?
I know the name of it because I'm old enough to have watched shows that made fun of it.
Okay.
I'm old
Mas-
enough to get the jokes that refer to it. Like I've never seen
Yeah.
the Three Stooges, but I'm old enough to have
You've
watched.
never seen the Three Stooges?
No, but I'm old enough to have watched like the cartoons that parodied the Three Stooges.
Got it. Okay. Masterpiece Theater.
Oh.
They would take a British series. British were doing limited television series since forever, since the 70s. They've been doing them. And they would bring them to the United States on PBS, and it was always on Masterpiece Theater. That was the theme for it. And it was Sunday nights, and we in my house watched Masterpiece Theater religiously every Sunday night for my entire life. And my favorite Masterpiece Theater series, as I was probably 9 or 10, was I, Claudius, starring Derek Jacobi as Claudius, and including, I'm having a brain cramp, Jean-Luc Picard, the actor played Jean-Luc Picard.
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart with hair. When Patrick Stewart had hair, he was in it as a centurion. So yeah, it's just which was essentially the story of a romanticized. It's based on a book called I, Claudius. It's essentially the fictionalized memoir of Claudius Augustus Caesar, who had a stutter. He had walked with a limp, and is arguably one of the better. What are you putting up? There you go. Oh, there we go. Patrick Stewart with hair. Yep. So, yeah, I absolutely loved I, Claudius. Absolutely fell in love with it. And
Is that
at
a
11
Shakespeare
years old, read the
play?
book,
Like,
read it
what is that?
regularly over and over again.
Is that a Shakespeare play?
No, it's based on a book called I, Claudius.
Oh,
And I've read the book many, many, many times. Like I said, it's a fictionalized memoir of this real Caesar, this real Roman emperor named Claudius Augustus Caesar. And he was kind of he was in line for the throne, but because he had he had a speech impediment, he stuttered, he was seen as an imbecile. Because he was seen as an imbecile, all of the machinations and the murders and the schemes and stuff, they all just passed over him because Claudius is an idiot. The thing is, he wasn't an idiot. He was very, very smart. He just was physically and, speech-wise disabled. And eventually, he's the last one standing after who's the really bad? Caligula. After Caligula is slaughtered because he is such a fucked up fucking fuck up, he's the only Caesar left, and the guards make him emperor because and they think it's hilarious because here's the idiot on the throne. And the thing is, he's not an idiot. He's actually very, 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 very smart. So I don't know how much of it is actually true. It's based on history, but it's fictionalized. But it
Yeah.
is so good. If you think Game of Thrones is good, Game of Thrones ain't got nothing on ancient Rome as far as who was murdering who and who was poisoning who and who was sleeping with who
I mean, that's
and
where the
who was
inspiration
somebody's
comes from,
actual
right?
father.
It's politicking, medieval politicking, but with dragons.
Yeah, it's medieval. It's essentially minus the dragons, but including the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which honestly,
It's
I'll take dragons over the Colosseum.
yeah. As the Helsing said, going back to World War II, I like learning about World War II, but I don't have the money to buy any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then
I'm
AC Rach
also a bit
said,
of a
I got a dagger my grandfather picked off an enemy soldier. Had I realized at the time what was carved on it, I would not have asked for it.
Yeah, as anybody that has, because my dad was in World War II. Yeah, I own some problematic memorabilia from that my dad picked up on the way home.
So we were comparing, I Claudius to Game of Thrones. At least ancient Rome ended.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't.
Burn.
It hasn't. Do you know who is the head of the Roman state currently? An American. His name is Pope Leo. That is where the Roman state is today. That is the direct descendant of the Roman state. Is the
I don't know. I feel like some
Holy
people
Roman
would
Church.
say if an American is ahead of Rome, then Rome is dead.
No, not Rome. The head of the Holy Roman Empire, which is an extension, which is essentially Rome from ancient times.
Does that mean exorcism is now done with
Roman
guns?
Catholic Church, which is Vatican City. Yeah. Yeah. Believe me, I'm not appalled. I'm just really fucking surprised there's an American Pope. I think the American Pope is a little surprised there's an American Pope.
Okay, wait. Did you ever see the Pope movie that came out last year?
Yes.
Conclave.
Conclave. Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun, juicy little pulpy thriller.
Yep. Just an extension of all the machinations. Believe me, if there was there a poisoning? No, there was deaths.
No.
But there was no poisonings. But just think of that with like a lot more sex, and a lot more poison, and a lot more knives in the back. A lot more assassinations. So,
okay.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing the same thing that I've been playing. A lot of Where Winds Meet. I started last night and I played for 40 minutes Silent Hill F.
Oh.
So I will play more of that in the coming weeks.
Claire wants that. The girl child wants that.
The beginning is really good.
Actually, she wants Silent Hill 3, 2, one of the early Silent Hills. And I'm like, sure you don't want to play Silent Hill F? It's kind of more updated. She's like, no. I've heard that's really good. Somebody on TikTok told her it was good.
I thought you said that she was playing one of the Silent Hill games a couple weeks
Maybe she
ago.
was. Maybe she was actually playing it. I don't really keep track of what she's playing because it's all Genshin and Roblox.
And Silent Hill F, which is like
Genshin.
there's and
Mm-hmm.
opposite ends of the spectrum. But
Yeah.
like what little I played, Silent Hill F kind of feels appropriate since it takes the psychological horror of Silent Hill and applies it to the restrictive uh all the restrictive rules around being a girl in like 60s Japan. It's like very early on you find a magazine that's like, "Oh, this is how to be so pure and find a husband." And all those super restrictive rules, and it begins with uh the teenage girl basically running away, and
Mm-hmm.
as she runs away the town distorts and changes, and so it's all about the horror of being a young girl.
Yeah. Well, maybe I don't know if it was Silent Hill. Maybe it was Silent Hill F that she's playing. But yeah, I've told her that is the game that she want to play. So you started playing it. How is
Yes, it's pretty good. It starts fast, like I said, which is nice. The combat is interesting because you've got equipment and it can break, and I've got a dodge button. And so it's much more combat intensive than it is than any other Silent Hill game before it. But I don't know, I haven't gotten really far enough to think of how I feel about that yet, but in the beginning that doesn't necessarily take away from the horror because the enemies are really fucked up. And the way that the first encounter with an enemy occurs is really, really good because you're in this really tight hallway and the enemy appears in front of you and you realize, oh shit, I can't get away. And so there's a lot of early game trying to navigate around an enemy because you don't have any weapons in like really narrow hallways. You have to like back out to a room, kite the enemy around a table to get around it, and then run away. But it's a lot of, I can't get past this enemy, so I have to find some way to get around it when I can't just run by him. And so, yeah, I like that. It was intense and freaky. And when I did get a lead pipe, it was very satisfying to just like, you motherfucker, I'm gonna crush your skull. So yeah, it captures all the stuff you want a survival horror game to capture.
So one of the issues I have with Resident Evil, at least the classic Resident Evil, is that your strikes, your weapons, it's all very limited. Everything has to be incredibly intentional. And it's the same reason why I didn't like Alan Wake was the same thing, was that scarcity of resources, whether it be stamina, whether it be light, whether it
Mhm.
be bullets. Is that is this like that? Like once I get a weapon, do I can I actually move quick,
I
or
I
is
would
it
say I would say for Silent Hill, generally, when you do get a gun, yes, ammo is very, very limited. But
right?
also, you're mostly running around with like a lead pipe.
Right, it's mostly melee, and that's how the original. Because I remember the original Silent Hill. I loved that first Silent Hill. Scared the holy shit out of me, and both Kevin and I were like, "Okay, we're gonna play Silent Hill, but we're gonna do it at noon with all the window shades up and
Oh,
open and every light on in the
no,
house,"
no, no. You
because
gotta
it
turn at
freaked us
night
the
with
fuck
all
out.
of the lights off.
No, 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 no. We were both freaked out by this game. Like when when you'd hear the static on the radio and you're like, "Fuck, fuck, fuck,
Yeah.
fuck, 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 it's under a car, it's under a car. Which car? Fuck, fuck, which car?" And so there was that, but you never I don't wanna say you would not want to encounter these things because they would move so fast, but it wasn't like you'd be in a situation where like in Resident Evil, I would find myself unable to fight. Like I'm cornered and I cannot fight. Or that's I don't like that. Like there was no way I could get out of the situation. I couldn't run, I couldn't swing, I couldn't fight. That I found it frustrating.
Mhm.
The like I said, the dearth of resources that is created by the game and is supposed to heighten the tension, but all it does is heighten the frustration for me.
Fair.
This is not that game?
I
Because I
mean,
kind of want to play it, but I kind of don't want to tell them that I'm playing it because then they'll think I'm okay with horror movies.
like it's a survival horror game. Like I said, I've only played about 40 minutes last night, late at night. So I'm not too far into it, but I know it is a Silent Hill game, and that sort of resource scarcity is kind of core to the genre. This one also has a much more a heavier focus on melee combat. In the
Mhm.
video, there was a moment when the girl was surrounded by a couple enemies, and she like juked, dodged around them through a doorway around, and that's not something you could do in any Silent Hill game before. You were always way slower, way heavier, and in this game in combat, Hiniko, I forget her name. I'll figure it out later, but she's way faster in combat.
Mhm.
And yeah, Silent Hill 2 is the game that people always talk about. The remake, the really like well done remake came out a couple years ago. Perfectly reasonable if you like that one better. And yeah, I did hear that they're remaking the first one, which
Mm-mm.
is like a natural extension after the second remake did so well. Like, yeah, remake the first one. Although
I
I want them to remake 4 because I think Silent Hill 4 is one of the freakiest fucking games ever. Like I have a soft spot for just how goddamn like disturbing that game is. It's a game that like really just wants to fuck you. And I'm okay if a horror
says the
game
guy who didn't like Balatro. By the way, I'm going to go make a cup of coffee.
Okay, I'm okay if a horror game wants to fuck me over because that's part of the experience. It's a
Well, isn't that
like
part
it's
of
a power
what roguelike
what is
is?
it? It's a D-power fantasy, right? That's what a horror game is. It's a D-power fantasy.
Mhm.
Balatro and a roguelike is supposed to be the opposite. It's kind of a power
Is it
fantasy.
though?
You
Is it
get you
really?
get the big build that allows you to pass it.
Mhm.
I don't play a horror game to be like, yeah, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass. This is awesome. I play a horror game to like be scared out of my mind. I play a horror game. One of the reasons I think Dead Space is such an excellent horror game is because there were multiple points in that game where I would be looking down a corridor, I'd see like an enemy move, run down the corridor, and I would stop. And I'd just be like, I don't want to go forward.
Yeah,
I
I had
don't
that.
want to
That
move.
Silent Hill is
I
like that. It's like
just
I gotta go down it, but I don't want.
I don't want to move, but I have to. God damn it. And
God damn it.
that is a great feeling for a horror game.
Yeah, that's Silent Hill. That's exactly what Silent Hill was for me as well.
Yeah.
But I did like that too. That was definitely something that was a pro for it. That being said, Resident Evil was I don't want to be here at all. Don't like this at all. Now, I will say this, that was like Resident Evil. I don't even remember which Resident Evil it was. I think it was 1 or 2, maybe 3. But
Yeah, early one. Hey, look, if
early
you
one
want
of
an
the
action
early ones.
game, play Resident Evil 4. That's the game where you get to like shoot axes out of the air so that they ricochet back into someone's forehead.
Right. See, that's kind of cool. And I didn't hate the Resident Evil demo that we played at PAX.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know that which one was that?
That
7?
Requiem.
A Requiem, that's right.
That's a new one, the brand new one.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I also didn't buy it. There's a reason.
Yes.
It's not something that I would go out and spend money on. But
So
if
that's right.
I was sitting in a room with nothing else but a TV and a console and a game and that game and there were no other games, I'd play it.
You'll play it at a convention, but if you're at home with the option to play literally anything else,
Anything? Yeah. I won't.
so like
Yeah.
Chris watches a lot of horror movies. Does he play a lot of horror games?
He doesn't play a lot of horror games. He doesn't play a lot of anything but mobile, which is kind of funny because he works on Call of Duty and, Perfect Dark and other, big games, but the
Well, he
only
doesn't
game
play the
I
games.
really saw him that we've ever the only game we really ever played together at any amount of time was Diablo.
Hmm.
And the only game I have seen him spend every time I walked in the room he was playing it was Civ, the new Civ 7,
Hmm.
Civ 9,
Okay.
whatever it is. So he's mostly a mobile guy because when he's done after sitting in front of his computer for 7 to 8 hours, he doesn't want to be sitting in front of his computer. He wants to. It's the same reason why I'm a console game player
Yes. It's a
and haven't been a PC game player, which is why I'm so excited about the Steam Deck. Is because I can play a PC. I can have all the benefits of PC with all of the things that make consoles appealing to me, which is not being in front of my screen.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I sit in front of a computer for work all day. The last thing I want to do when I come home is sit in front of a keyboard.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Well,
It's
I
like
was
when I was a film critic and people were like, "Oh, did you go see any movies this week?" I'm like, "No." Well, why wouldn't you go see one on a weekend? Because that's what I do all week. The last thing I want to do is go sit in a dark room. That's what I do for many hours a week. I'm not going to go to a movie on the weekend. I'm going to go out and touch grass.
well, I asked because he might really enjoy Resident Evil 7.
Hmm.
I think that was one of the scarier games. I think that is probably one of the most intense Resident Evil games out there. And it has a lot of emphasis on like AI because you're wandering through a house while this AI character hunts you down.
Hmm. Would you recommend Silent Hill F to him so far? I mean, how far are you in? You're not very far.
I
You only
I
said
played
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Yeah. Are you going to continue playing it?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
I really enjoyed what I played. I'm looking forward to doing more. I I was sitting in front of my TV and I thought, okay, I could play Where Winds Meet, but like I've only got about an hour to play something. I need to branch out. So I had bought Silent Hill F like a couple weeks ago because it was on sale for Halloween, and I thought, okay, I need to play something else. I need to branch out.
Right.
I bought I bought a bunch of games for all the Christmas sales, and I can't purchase all those games and then keep playing the same free to play game all my free time. I
Right.
need to actually play the things I buy.
Yeah, and I think that maybe that should be our New Year's resolution because I have bought so many games on your recommendation and especially this year not played them. I think that might be my New Year's resolution this year is
Okay.
that everything that I buy in 2026, I will play in 2026.
That's
If you
tough to
can make
do.
that with me.
I would just say play Expedition 33. Just play the intro.
No, I
Just
have
just
to.
play the intro. That's
I
all you
really
got to do. Play it
Well,
for an hour. And
that's
then
a goal for this Christmas break because I have all of the time from the 23rd, from when I walk out of work on the 22nd. Hopefully, it will be earlier rather than later. From when I walk out of work on the 22nd until I come back on the 3rd, I think it is, I will be playing. I'm going to play Expedition 33. And I
cool.
also want to play Where Winds Meet. I want to play that with you because you had said that it's a really good. Pardon my freebie.
Yeah.
Um,
I need you to play it. That way we can become friends and do some co-op missions together so that we can become sworn consorts, so that we can get married, so that we can then get divorced, so that then I can join a secret sect of divorce characters.
there's actually a secret sect of divorcees.
There's a sect that you can join, and I looked into trying to join them, and apparently the only way to join them is to get divorced. At least that's what a YouTube video told me because I was like, I don't know how to do this.
Okay.
It's like a sect of, sexy dancer women. I'm like, ooh, let's get in this. No, I gotta get divorced. You have to be a jilted lover to join the sect.
Last time we hooked up, air quotes, in a game, it did not go well. I mean, it went well for you and me. Not so well for a kid.
As far as I know, you can't have children in the game.
Okay, good. So there's
Yeah.
no children to leave in hell.
No.
I'm a little afraid of the afterlife. Like, wouldn't it be horrible if, when we finally get old and die and then we find out that all of that stuff, it's like there's our kid waiting for us going, Mother?
If what we do in a video game, if hell is like punishing us for what we do in the video game, I have much greater things
Least
to
of your
worry
worries.
about. That kid is the least of my worries. There is so much more coming. Look, all of those prostitutes I beat to death in Grand Theft Auto 3. Oh, there's a mini army of them.
There's an interesting short story. Talk about there's another kind of lit RPG is you die and you end up in an afterlife filled with all the characters that you wronged in video games.
Oh.
And
Very
you have
bad
to
place
make
to be.
amends.
No, there's no making amends for that.
Sure
I've
there is.
slaughtered entire countries in shooter games. Come on. Look,
But-
in a single Call of Duty, I killed the entire population of a major city.
What is the worst crime that you committed, you think? What's like a memorable crime other than leaving your child in hell? What is the most morally reprehensible thing that you did in a video game?
I mean, I remember there was an achievement in Red Dead Redemption that you got for kidnapping a woman, tying her to the train tracks, and then having a train run her over.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. I got that one too.
I mean, and look, there's all the Sims that I drowned in a pool by removing the stairs.
That's right. The girls' school slaughter in Deus Ex 2. I forgot about that one.
The girls' school slaughter Deus Ex 2? I don't remember that.
Yeah. That was very much a thing.
In Red Dead Redemption 2, you punch the ladies trying to earn the right to vote and feed them to a crocodile.
I'm really liking the idea of this short story, or at least this delve into the idea of all of these things were actually real in this other world. And that when you die, that you're transported there and you have to sort that shit out. That it wasn't how you lived that determined whether you go to heaven, it's how you played. Because that's really, because how you live, I mean, walk with me here. How you live is very much dependent upon fate, dependent upon external forces beyond your control, your economics, the politics, where you were grown up, what people did to you, things like that. There's so much that you can't control in a life that you can't really decide if someone is a good person or a bad person based on how they live their lives. But in a video game, it is 100% under their control. And that is where you actually do see the moral makeup of the player, the kind of actual person they are in their soul when nobody's looking and there are no consequences.
Yeah, but there's also no consequences, so it's all good.
Until you realize the afterlife is based on not what you did in your life, good or bad, but what you did in a video game, good or bad.
That sounds as unfair as Balatro. That is some
Well,
bullshit.
life and death ain't fair. The afterlife ain't fair. That's the way it goes. Life ain't fair. Death ain't fair. It's just the way things go.
As it basically says, anyone who plays video games was screwed over.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who plays FPS games. Oh yeah, anyone who played an MMO game.
Oh, God. I try to be good. Well, actually, it was Peter Molyneux who said, and this is the
Oh,
kind of
I
conversation
also
I would love to have with Peter Molyneux.
I know
Um,
I know what I did.
what?
Peter Molyneux made a game called Black and White where you
Yes.
played as a god,
Yes.
and the way it worked is you like had a little creature that would do your bidding in the world.
Yes.
And you had a sphere of influence through which you could like pick people up, you could do a lot of stuff. And outside that sphere of influence, your ability was really, really limited. So you needed to like do things to get people to believe in you to increase your sphere of influence.
Right.
I got into like a downward spiral. My sphere was shrinking, my population was declining, and I was like, I can't do anything. I need influence. And you know, one very quick and easy way to get influence? Sacrifice. And you know who gives you more points? Babies.
Oh,
So
Nick, you didn't.
I created a basically forced birth area when I was just like, every woman's got to get pregnant. As soon as that baby is born, we're sacrificing him to my God.
Wow, you are Peter Molyneux's wet dream. That's exactly the kind of stuff that he does. He's really into this more, delving into the idea of morality and making good people do bad things. Because he was the one that said that when people play games, they almost universally start out trying to be nice. And
Yeah.
his games want to challenge you to slowly boil the frog, slowly start making you do morally questionable things to the point of where you are completely morally reprehensible, where you wouldn't or would not recognize yourself, where you're sacrificing, where you're doing a forced birth program to create babies to sacrifice.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that definitely you're going to video game hell for that one.
To be fair,
Mhm.
they were all babies. So in this theoretical hell, like
You're making it worse, Nick.
what are they gonna do to me? Huh? What are they're gonna bite my ankles? Pff, bring it
You
on,
get enough
babies.
you get enough babies. You get
Bring it
enough
on,
Come on, if Silent Hill hasn't taught you anything, get enough babies together in one place, then they
the
meld together, they can be
again,
that.
the babies in Silent Hill could hold knives. I was sacrificing newborns. They can't hold shit.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, as you said, being good is very hard in video games. Being evil is very easy.
and then let's not
Mhm.
forget, didn't you play something called The Cult of the Goat?
Oh, the Cult of the Lamb.
The Cult of
Yeah,
the
that's
Lamb.
right.
You were doing some pretty reprehensible things in that, weren't you?
Not
For
two
creating your
things. Like
cult?
I was a good god with my cult. I was killing a lot of evil demons.
Were you?
We had like ceremonial orgies. That's where all of our faith came from.
Oh, wow, I almost made coffee come out my nose.
I wasn't sacrificing people. We were just fucking for fun. We
We are
weren't fucking for
officially
procreation.
changing the name of the show to I just had what was it? Ceremonial orgies.
Yeah.
All right, we are changing the name of the show right now. It was just ceremonial orgies.
That's
That'll
actually
get us the hits.
that's actually a very fun game.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I would genuinely recommend that to you. I think you would enjoy it. Like there's a roguelike structure to it in that you're going into this dungeon over and over again to get resources. But
Mhm.
then you bring those resources back to build up your little colony. And you build up that colony. You need to feed them. Um, you need to take care of them. You need to build them places to sleep. And then you kind of have these religious things that you can do. Do you want to sacrifice someone? Do you want to promote someone to be like a priest? What do you do to your followers? Oh, one follower is a skeptic. What do you do with him? Do you lock him in like the what are those things called? The medieval things that go around you?
Stockade.
Stockade. Like, do you lock them in the stockade and have people like throw
Throw
potatoes at
potatoes.
them for being a
Yeah.
skeptic? and then put them through like, reintrointegration into
Re-education.
society.
Re-education.
Re-education, yeah. Put them through re-education.
Fun fact, you can't put Orgies in a Twitch title. I had to change it to Love Fests.
Oh, I see. It was just ceremonial orgies.
Yeah, but in Twitch it's Ceremonial Love Fests.
Ah.
But you know what we mean.
Oh, I know. I was a part of it.
So, moving on to what other games have you played? What other games have you played?
That's it. I bought a couple games just last night because the sale was ending. What did I buy?
Oh, it's over. I didn't realize the game was over. It was over. Bummer.
No, there was a PlayStation sale, but there's also like another holiday PlayStation sale still going on.
Well, there's one of the games sale. I mean, the Steam sale.
Oh, the Steam sale like just started. It's going on until
I was going to say, didn't it just start?
Yeah. But one of the games that I wanted to get that was ending yesterday was one called Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, which is like apparently a kind of
that win a game award.
I don't think it did.
Was it nominated? Because I know the name.
You probably heard it. Spiffing Brit did a lot of videos about it. It's a very Skyrim-like game.
Yes.
And so that got me excited.
All right.
I got that one. I got this VR game that's supposed to be like really fun because you can talk about doing terrible things. It's like a Colosseum, Roman Colosseum, where you can like hack off someone's limb and then grab that limb and use that as another weapon to beat them with.
Beat them to death. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. You'd rip off their heads and shit down their necks, just like they proverbially always threaten to do.
And I forgot what else
I'm really surprised that hasn't been a mechanic in any game.
Shooting is hard to do.
Is it?
Yeah. That's basically all I played. I want to play more over the next couple weeks, like a bigger variety of things. So I'll have more to talk about then.
And TSL Helsing says we all need to play Warframe or ESO. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back to ESO. That's gotten so beyond.
Oh, also, apparently, shooting down someone's neck was a boss death cutscene in Duke Nukem
3D. Oh, nice. Okay, good. I'm glad at least somebody did that. Because then we'd have to put it in Ookie Bookie Spelookie. Rip off the top of the cube and use it as a litter box.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
okay. News?
That's all we've done. So should we head towards the news since we're an hour in?
We'll hit the news.
Talking about 2 games and pretty much nothing else. And actually pretty much everything but 2 games that we actually did play.
Yes.
All right, let's hit the news. This is GameHounds News. Gaming with Nick and Edie and
I would say the biggest, where was it? The biggest story of the past week was Larian really stepping in it. The boss, Sven, talked about the development of Divinity, which they just announced like a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And as part of that interview, he said that they were integrating or exploring like Gen AI in the process. And so that immediately set off a firestorm of people going like, what the fuck are you doing? This is terrible. That then led to more controversies and more about like Larian's hiring process, and people complaining that that hiring process involves a lot of interviews, a lot of writing, including like making playable elements, and basically being a very long and winding interview process.
Mm-hmm.
And then the backlash over that then got a backlash of people saying, yeah, the hiring practices don't sound. Oh, it sucks to be interviewing for multiple months and then have no contact for another multiple months and then get told, yeah, we didn't give you the job. But also, that kind of sounds par for the course.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well, I
like,
mean, just because that's the way it's always been done doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing.
no, but that's like, okay, it sounds like that's a bad hiring process, but so is everything else. And then also, he has clarified how they're using Gen AI. They're not replacing any artists. They're using it in like the concept phase for PowerPoints, things like that. And then it's people saying a lot of other developers. I think the developer of Kingdom Come has also said, look, AI is being used in all the games you play regardless. Like, you need to deal with that. This actually comes on the heels of Expedition 33 winning an indie game award and then having it taken away because of the use of Gen AI in the game for a texture that got replaced.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of just created a larger conversation about the use of Gen AI in development, the people having a hard line, we don't want any of this, and other people saying, this is in the game, you need to accept it going forward. Controversy about that, about where is the line? Is there a line? Where do you have that line about the use of Gen AI in development? What is a proper use? Is there a proper use? And I think Sven is holding a Reddit AMA either tomorrow, sometime soon, to like discuss these exact things and to try to do damage control over this. Let's see. It is an AMA. Blah blah blah. Oh, come on. What's the date? In the post, next game. It's been a week. Maybe they don't have a date for the AMA. Yeah, okay. I guess there's just going to be an AMA in the new year. So sometime in January, where you can ask, quote, any questions you have about Divinity and our dev process directly.
Mm-hmm. That'll be an interesting AMA to watch.
It will be. And I wonder how much of it
I don't
would
think
just
it'll go
be...
as well. Actually, I think that it's probably going to go better than he expects because I think he fully expects to be roasted, and as well they should. I think that do I think that AI is inevitable? Yes. Do I think that just because it's inevitable, we should be silent and let it happen without any kind of input as consumers? No. I think it's important to let them know that that decision shouldn't just be made automatically thinking that we're just happily accepting it and that we recognize that there's significant downside to what's happening. I don't think that there's any way that it can't happen, but I think that it does, that our voices do need to come up and keep coming up every time it is used so that it's not just a matter of fact like, oh, it's fine, nobody cares. They never need to know that nobody cares, that people, that work that's being done and would have been done by real human beings now being done by computers more poorly than a human would have done it is not acceptable just because it's cheaper for them. That they're accepting the reduction in quality, not only the reduction in quality of product, but the reduction in the quality of life overall for the entire world, because people will be losing their jobs, and one person losing their job is, a lot of people losing their jobs, removing an entire section of employment for millions of people will appreciably affect all of our quality of life, with the exception of the oligarchs who are actually saving money. They're the only ones that are really truly benefiting from AI. Nobody else is.
Yeah, I agree for the most part. I worry that a backlash like this means that now a developer is just not going to say anything. Because why would they? Right?
We should never.
There's obviously no benefit to it. So, like, why admit to it? Why admit to it unless you are literally forced to?
Because it's better to ask for permission than forgiveness in these situations, I think. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that
it is
this
at all. No,
You
it's
really? You don't
absolutely
think so?
not. No, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission because no one will give you permission. So you just fucking do it.
Well,
And
then you get your awards rescinded.
except like even then, like AC Rate
That's true. It
says,
didn't really appreciably affect sales.
honestly, if the texture was replaced before the award, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
the issue with Expedition 33 was there was a Gen AI generated texture in the game when it launched that was then patched out after 4 days.
Oh, okay. Well, see that
But where's the line? Because it was used in the game. It was part
True.
of the development process.
True. If
What
you
what does
submitted
that matter? And like the question is, where is that line?
Where's
Is
the
it
line?
just
Yeah.
is there a Gen AI thing in the final version of the game? Or if it's used at any point in the process, does that matter? If it's used at any point in coding the game, does that matter? Like I think there is a use for AI generated things in the development process. Like you can use it for these things, especially smaller teams. Not to say that Larian is now a smaller team, but like you can use it in that process. I I I have used AI enough in my job to summarize things that I can see, oh, this is useful for collecting data from a bunch of different places and pulling it into one place. It's just that the economics behind the technology have, again, poisoned the well for the entire use of the technology. I think AI can be good and handy and useful in certain circumstances, but the economics demand that it be the greatest technological achievement since electricity. And there's a gap between this is pretty useful to this will change the universe. This will
Yeah.
change life as we know it. And it's like you can't square that circle. But like the pushback to this will change life as we know it is always worthwhile because
Yeah.
that's con men selling you a false bill of goods.
Hmm.
But saying like, yeah, we can use it for PowerPoint presentations. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can generate a texture that you then replace later. I see the use for that, and I don't begrudge the use of it in that way because I think in that way you still have artists coming in and painting over it. You're using AI to create an outline and then painting over it. I feel like that's okay. It's just that there's such an extreme between what we're being sold at the highest level and what it's actually being used for at the lowest level that like they're just two different universes. It's the same
Mhm.
technology that exists on these two completely incompatible planes of discussion.
Right. Yeah.
And it,
I I I don't disagree with you. I mean, AI is a very good tool. And you're right. There is an element of it that is a bit boogeymanish, but also genuinely plausible.
so also you say it's inevitable. I don't think it's inevitable. I
I
think
think
there's
that
a
AI is inevitable. It's
I
inevitable
think
to use because it's being used for everything right now. I use it almost every single
it's
day.
being used for everything because ChatGPT is subsidizing all of your use.
True.
Like I
Well,
think
I
there's a
actually pay for
very
it, but yeah.
I that doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Whatever
there's
you pay, it's not enough.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
there's a
it's because it's using me to learn on it, and I get it. I
no, I
understand.
think there's a very real possibility that when the bill comes due and OpenAI needs to actually start charging people a legitimate amount of money in order to make OpenAI profitable, everyone will stop using it.
Yeah.
Because most people use ChatGPT for free. And even the people paying for it are not actually paying enough to cover the usage fees. Like
Mhm.
like I said, the economics of the technology don't make financial sense. And so when push comes to shove and these companies need to start making a profit instead of just subsidizing everything off investor money, I don't know if there's a way to feasibly get that technology to work. I don't know if there will be enough people willing to pay how much it actually costs to create an image. If they had to pay the real resource cost that OpenAI that it takes to generate all that technology, I don't know if there's enough people willing to pay that money to make it a profitable company.
I would normally disagree because that is a very, very compelling argument. That being said, I remember that exact same argument about the internet. That when the internet actually becomes something that is no longer subsidized by the government, it's going to be too expensive. When the internet is never going to be a threat to newspapers, because once people have to start paying for newspapers online and their subscription online, they won't do it. Newspapers will be fine. That's the costs of all of that stuff will inevitably, and that is an absolute law, it will get cheaper as it
No, it's
goes
not.
along.
No, it's not. That's the other kicker here, is that because AI is so resource intensive, it is sucking up all of the electronic hardware resources of the fucking world.
And all the electricity of the fucking world.
And all the electricity. You know about the RAM shortage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, RAM is a pretty stable thing to build. And 3 years ago, you could get like 32 gigs for $80.
And it was the cost of RAM was going down, had been going down since the 80s.
Now, that same amount costs like $500.
Yeah.
I was talking to Ryan the other day, and he's trying to build a computer, and he's like, this fucking RAM is so expensive. And it's so expensive that Micron, one of the major manufacturers of consumer RAM, is no longer making consumer RAM because they're just selling to businesses because they are the ones hoovering up all of this shit. And because they're hoovering it all up, it's all getting more expensive. That's why console prices aren't going down. That's why electronics are all going up. So all of this stuff is colliding. The technology is not getting cheaper. It's getting more expensive.
Well, it is.
But at the same time, it requires more of these resources.
Right. But
it's just an escalation.
Sort of. It is sort of. Let me throw this into the mix. Is that one of the things that's hoovering up RAM is all of these companies that are AI companies all coming out. Again, like the early days of the internet. So many small startups, .ai startups. Holy shit. Nick and I live in Silicon Valley. And on the drive up to San Francisco, it used to be like you'd go up 101 north and it would be billboards for like energy drinks and the new Apple and all of this stuff. I don't understand any of the billboards. Like, none of them make sense to me. It doesn't, like, I literally don't understand what they're selling. And in many cases, I don't even know what the words mean anymore. Like, it's all 3-letter acronyms that I don't know what it means or what it's selling or why it's there. None of it makes sense to me. And I'm not talking some of the billboards, because that was always the case with some of the billboards, even back in the 90s. None of the billboards, not a single billboard between Redwood City and San Francisco do I understand except for Shenyun. That's the only thing that I know.
I actually know what you're talking about.
Thank God for Shenyun, because I would have nothing to read on the ride up to San Francisco every day.
Like for the viewers, it's just like a dance show.
Oh, everybody knows what Shenyun. Who here doesn't? in the chat room.
I think
Who here doesn't know what Shenyun is? It's everywhere. Everywhere. So there's a lot of startups. And you drive around Redwood City, it's all these little like
Me.
AI companies. No, come on, you know what Shenyun is. You go all over, places, and it's all these little teeny tiny like storefronts, and it's like Aspire AI or something AI or AI something. It's all these like tiny little AI companies that are all starting up because they're all getting in on, because the venture capitalists are just throwing money at AI to see what sticks. 90% of them are going to go under.
Yes.
There's only going to be one Google
but the thing
AI,
is,
and it's probably going to be Sam Altman. It's probably going to be ChatGPT.
Those companies are not the ones buying RAM, because those companies aren't creating their own LLM that's going to use the RAM. Those companies are paying Anthropic and paying ChatGPT to use their LLMs. The people buying the RAM are like 4 companies, maybe even just 3. It's OpenAI, Anthropic, and like, I don't know. I don't even know if there's like another one. There's like 2 others that are very, very small. It's mainly OpenAI, Anthropic, and then like a couple other people that don't really matter. The entire AI industry is driven by OpenAI. If anything bad happens to OpenAI, that entire industry collapses. OpenAI is like 70% of the entire AI industry. It's all one fucking company. And it's one fucking company that has a business model that is inherently unprofitable. Like, they don't make a profit.
No, they don't.
That's why I say there's a very real chance that, like, it's not inevitable. It's not inevitable. So when someone
we'll check back when I turn 69 in 10 years. We'll check back and we'll replay this conversation.
I mean,
Ray, make a note. 10 years from now, Nick and I are going to, no matter where we are, whether GameHounds is still going on, it probably won't, but it's possible. But you and I are going to replay this episode right now on December 21st.
We'll revisit this conversation like
35.
We'll revisit this conversation in 6 months.
True.
But anyways,
by the way, I got something for you.
That's all going back to be like.
Hold on. I gotta. Sorry.
So like when Sven says like, oh yeah, we're having OpenAI and it's kind of Gen AI and it's integrated not heavily into the workflow. It's like used at an early stage. It's not something they're relying on. I feel like that's a better route to go, because they're not, if that technology gets taken away, their workflow remains the same. And
Shenyun is fucking everywhere, dude.
I didn't know what it was until I started driving past all those billboards.
Oh, you didn't know what that was?
I had never heard of it before.
Oh God, it's been going on for literally decades.
I think the only
the origins of it. It's Falun Gong.
I think the only marketing they do is those billboards.
No, no, it's all in those posters and signs. I had somebody show up at our office on the 2nd and 3rd floor to give us a Shenyun poster to put in our window. It's actually based in a religion, the Falun Gong religion in China, which has been under attack by the Chinese government, which is where they get all their money is their Shenyun show. It's a bit like I want to say the Moonies. I don't say the Moonies because the Moonies are a cult, but like, the Moonies and owning the Washington Post, and or is it the Washington? Is it the Washington Post?
No, the Washington Post is owned by Jeff Bezos.
No, Washington Examiner. Washington Examiner is owned by the Moonies, the Reverend Sun Young Moon, the cult.
It sounds like weirdo West Coast nonsense.
It's not. It's everywhere, dude. I mean,
yeah.
I've kind of always wanted to go. I have heard it's a fantastic show. It's essentially Chinese acrobats and dancers, and it's apparently
And I'd be okay with that. I think that
it's
sounds
Cirque du
fun.
Soleil, but Chinese acrobats and artists.
I've been playing a lot of Where Winds Meet. Like I've seen the equivalent in the video game. There's a whole acrobatic show you can take part in.
Yeah. Thank you for putting that note.
Anyways, in response to that, in related news, apparently AC Rate just put this in the chat that id Software workers have formed a wall-to-wall union in response to all of the Xbox layoffs.
There's
so
a
it's
lot
not
of companies.
just the QA testers, it's the entire company.
Yeah. Well, that is the backlash that's always going to happen when you get these kind of labor is one of those things. As long as there's a stasis, there's a little bit this, tips a little towards labor, then it will tip a little bit towards management, tip a little bit towards labor. And then when things go management, you get this massive backlash on labor. And we're going to see that pendulum swing with as much momentum toward labor. I have a feeling we're going to see I would guess in the next 5 years, a huge labor movement. We're going to go back to like where it was in the 50s.
I think so
with labor.
too, because if you look back, go way like 10 years. Go way back 10 years.
10 years, 10 whole years. When I was only 49.
There's the whole people can work remote. Like it was all generally there's a balance.
Copacetic relationship. Labor needed management, management needed
America
labor.
was very anti-union, but then COVID happened and everything got shut down. And there was all of a sudden this big spike in workers having more power.
Right.
And so that was when all these work from home things got put in.
And unemployment was at a national low, a historic low during that.
And even though you would think, wow, unemployment's really low, apparently working from home makes people more productive. Boy, it sounds like a win-win all around, right? Well, apparently it's not really about that, because after COVID, what we've seen, and I think AI is a part of this, is a employer backlash to that employee power, where now it's not just come back to the office. It's come back to the office and we're going to replace you with AI, you piece of shit, because you dared talk back to us. It's like, oh, you thought you had this, now we're going to replace you. And I think AI, one of the reasons that it's being pushed like this has a punishment for workers daring to demand to work from home.
Right.
Even if we're more productive, it doesn't matter. And that's why I think the slow realization that shit, we can't replace them with AI because it still hallucinates. And no matter how much money we pump into it, it still fucking hallucinates. It's and that slow realization that God damn it, we need the people. That is going to be one of the most painful things to happen to the American economy, as the employers are we need to hire people, but it will be like pulling teeth. It will be like pulling a finger out of its socket. But I do think that there will be a shift to more unions, more positive relations with labor, but it will be a very metaphorically bloody battle. Maybe not entirely metaphorically, but it will be very hard fought.
COVID taught us two things that we were told as middle to lower class would never work. Actually did work. One of them is you can't work from home because productivity would drop. Productivity and profits went up by a lot. Employers don't want you working from home because there is a certain amount of the testosterone. Man, I'm going to start sounding like one of those crazy female liberals. There's a certain amount of this testosterone driven I like to have a building with our name on it, and I like to walk into an office full of minions who work for me because it makes my balls feel good.
Yeah.
That's the only reason. Because it ain't money. We've proven that. It ain't productivity. It's not that. It ain't happiness. It's certainly not that. We've proven all of those things all go up by working from home. The only thing that they lose is that glorious feeling in their balls of minions under their foot. That's the first thing that we learned. The other thing that we learned that we were told would never, never, never work, it was an absolute waste, it'll never work, don't even try, was the trickle up theory of economics. When we gave out $2,000 to everybody in the country during COVID,
Yeah.
we lifted millions of families out of poverty temporarily for a relatively small amount of money. We have been told since the Reagan era, trickle down economics. If you give more money to businesses, they will use that money to hire more people, to grow their company, and everybody will benefit. And, the crazy communists were like, no, if you give money to people at the bottom, they use their money to spend it on things locally at home in the country. If you give it to businesses, they ship it off seas looking for cheaper labor.
They also
give it
just give it to their CEOs who invest
They
it.
give it to their CEOs. Right. But if you give it to poor people, they spend it instantly. And it all of a sudden, the economy turns around instantly. And not only did they lift millions of families out of poverty, they lifted millions and millions of children off of poverty so that they no longer had to be subsidized at schools for lunches, which saved the country billions of dollars. But on top of that, our economy fucking boomed. And you noticed and I remember what was his name? Was it Yang? Yeah, Yang. When he was running for
Andrew
president.
Yang?
Andrew Yang, when he was running for president, and he's like, a minimum monthly income. I propose a minimum monthly income. And I was like, what a fucking idiot that guy is. No, bullshit. That's not going to work. And then very short time later, for a couple of months, we had a minimum monthly income for everybody in the country. And the economy literally took off like a rocket ship. But they don't want you talking about that. They don't want you talking about how little amount of money by comparison it actually costs the government to put nitrous in the fuel tank of an economy, of this economy. All of a sudden, everybody was buying everything. All companies made money, and it all went up to those companies who would have gotten the money firsthand, but they actually, they got that money. They ended up with that money in their pocket anyway, but it actually spurred economic growth and kept people off of government assistance. So that's the tooth. And that's, I think, if anything, was the lasting memory of COVID for me. That they don't want you to remember is those two things. That the economy and people and business, everything does better when people work at home, and when the least among us are given a minimum monthly income that they can spend, and they will spend. And it just because what it does is it says, hey, guess what? Guess what makes an economy good? When the least of us, the most important cog in that machine is not the guy with the good feeling in his balls about having minions under his feet. What really grows the economy is us buying stuff, making money, working, buying stuff, and giving that money to those guys. They work for us. We don't work for them. They really don't want you to remember that. That is my little political rant. I am off my soapbox.
Well, like when I said the controversy over Larian basically starts a larger discussion about AI in game development, AI in the economy. What does it all mean? That's what I'm talking about. Is like
Mm.
you go from, oh, how are they using it, into like, why are we using it? Why does it exist? Who benefits from it? And all of the larger issues surrounding it. So yes, I will
AC
say,
Ray says
I will say,
49, or did you miss the last data claim 58? You know, when you're this old,
you
it's
forget what age
there's
you are.
that you just give up. Right about 3 months before your birthday, you're just like, I'm fucking 59. Because if you actually wait until the last minute, then it hurts. It
You just
hurts
stop
more.
counting.
Yeah, you slowly work your way into it where you're like, I had to be reminded. I had to do the math. It's like, am I turning 59 or 60 this year? No, wait, no, it's next year, because I'd been calling myself 59 for so long. So it doesn't come as a horrible shock to you. You just start saying
Okay,
that you're that old.
I'm gonna tell people I'm 50.
Tell people you're 50.
Yeah.
Are we really only 10 years apart from each other?
No, I'm 40.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just gonna tell people, I'm just gonna get used to it now. But anyways,
Back to the story.
back to the Larian story. The one thing about this story that everyone glosses over, that is the most horrifying aspect to me, is that Sven said Divinity is going to be bigger than Baldur's Gate 3. And I am on record as saying I think Baldur's Gate 3 is too big. I think the whole Underdark section of that game could be removed and the whole thing would be better paced. It would flow better. I would have played, I would still have played it, but like I've gotten farther into it. I think that
Before you
game is
abandon it.
too big. And to hear that Divinity is going to be even bigger, I think, oh, Jesus Christ, no. Jesus, I will never see credits of that game. I will die before I see credits of Divinity.
If that is the case, Divinity may actually answer that age-old question of how big a game is too big. Like, what is the limit of where we can, of how big a game can be? Because right now, technology is at the point where we can make big games too big. And I agree with you. I thought of a game bigger than Divinity is actually terrifying.
I think most games are too big. One of the reasons I started playing Silent Hill F is because I heard it was relatively short, like kind of a 20-hour game, and I'm like, fuck yes, I like the sound of that.
Maybe that's going to be the next big thing, is 20-hour games.
Yeah. But then the other game I bought on the PlayStation sale was Divinity Original Sin 2. So, you know.
Density, according to AC Ray, density is always better than volume in games. Yeah, true. All right, my first item is, let me get to my banners. I have to remind myself of my first item. All right, so this is a twofer in games. One, Call of Duty 7, once again for 18 years straight, has beat out Battlefield 6 in November. That shouldn't come as any surprise. I mean,
That's right. Even though Call of Duty 7 is like getting raked over the coals for its campaign. Like people hate that campaign. And Battlefield 6 by all means has gotten like rave reviews.
Right. Well, so Sirkan, who does the analysis of video game sales and that kind of stuff, their November 2025 game sales report, everybody's really looking at it because Battlefield was doing so well and Call of Duty this time not doing so well. They were wondering if Battlefield was actually going to beat out Call of Duty. But no, for the 18th year straight, Call of Duty 7 did beat out Battlefield for
It's
November.
just got that
That being
momentum.
said, well, Battlefield 6 has been out for a while. Call of Duty Black Ops just released. So, of course, it doesn't surprise me. That being said, it is kind of notable. Call of Duty has always ended up beating out Battlefield for the year, even though it releases in November. But it's not going to do it. No question. Battlefield 6 is now is the biggest game of 2025. the most sold game of 2025.
Really?
But here's the other half of Circana's report that I found more interesting. They also do analysis as we're getting close to the end of the year. They're doing analysis of software sales, video game software, video game hardware, and accessories for the year. So overall, hardware, software, accessories in November 2025 saw a spending fall of 4% compared to last year.
Wait, I thought I saw that it went up.
It went down by 4%.
What?
For software, hardware, and accessories combined. So software saw a growth.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Right. But hardware and accessories took a massive 27% decline compared to November 2024, which is surprising because November 2024 is the, let's buy hardware for Christmas period.
Yeah, but this is also the year that like Microsoft fully said, "Fuck it, we're not going to bother with the Xbox anymore."
Well, but then that wouldn't affect this wouldn't affect November 2024. You'd still be buying the most recent Xbox.
That's
Now,
what I mean. More
report-
people bought it. More people probably bought an Xbox in 2024. 2025 is when like Microsoft kind of gave up and like those sales really went off a cliff.
I would agree with you if that was reflected in previous years after consoles were released. According to report, only $695 million were spent on hardware and accessories. That is the worst amount total for any November since 2005. And that's when it comes to hardware. Sorry, not hardware and accessories, just hardware specifically.
Okay.
All three current gen console totaled 1.6 million units sold, which is the lowest.
1.6. Wait, is this just for November or for the year?
November.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
All three current gen consoles only sold combined 1.6 million units in November. They say that is the lowest amount of consoles sold since 1995.
Okay. So, like, let's break that down. Xbox.
Now, yeah. Xbox,
no longer
price increases, tariffs, it all goes into it. But yes.
Price increase, tariffs no longer in the game. The Switch 2 came out earlier this year when it sold like hotcakes, sold huge numbers. But by the time we get to November, the Switch 2 is kind of like done its initial run. I don't know if it's getting a price discount because it's still really new. So, it makes sense that the Switch 2 would not like sell a massive amount in November because it did all of its sales earlier in the year. Then PlayStation 5 probably goes on sale, but I know that Sony has also said that the PlayStation 5 has actually outsold the PlayStation 4. Like the console, in terms of units sold, is like doing really well, even though it's still high in price. But at a certain point, you kind of reach market saturation. So I think
I would agree with.
I think PlayStation has reached the maximum amount of people that they can. Xbox just gave up, and the Switch 2 did all of its stuff earlier in the year. I think those are some. My knee-jerk reaction is those are the factors contributing to why November is so poor.
Right. There are and I would agree with you if we were seeing that trend throughout the years, because this is not the first time that's happened. There would be, noticeable ups and downs. Let me remind you, 1995 was the year that the first Sony's PlayStation and the Sega Saturn came out. They also had the SNES Genesis, the Atari Jaguar, and the 3DO. This is the lowest amount combined consoles sold since then.
Yeah.
That's pretty significant. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that there were massive increases in the prices of all the consoles because of the tariffs. Also because of the cost of RAM and all of the increased cost in order to make that stuff.
AI
So
is
the
ruining
prices went
everything.
up. Yeah, AI is ruining everything. All the prices went up, and that I think is not an inconsequential contributor to it. But
No.
it does signify a significant trend that I think is being seen. If it was like, okay, it's off 10 years, it's off 15 years. We're talking off almost 30. Well, no, we are talking 30-year low of console sales. That's got to be heard in the console market by PlayStation, by Xbox. It probably is being heard by Xbox by patting themselves on the back saying, see, we're getting out of
No,
consoles.
that I'm sure Xbox looks at that and says, "This is why we're doing what we're doing."
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm
100%.
saying. They're up in Redland. They're like, see, we were right. It's like, well, yeah, you also contributed to it. You
Yeah.
made it right.
See,
But yeah,
right.
you're
You
right.
set the fire. It's like, see, we were right. It burned down.
Hmm. Yeah. This place is a tinderbox. See?
Yeah. Click, drop.
Hmm. Told you. So yeah, it is a little scary that
Nintendo Gamer switched to reading books about Detroit fairies.
I was never a Nintendo player, AW. Never once. I missed I we if you're new to the show, you may not know the history. I missed the Nintendo years. I went from playing Commodores and PC games. I went to college and didn't do any Nintendo. I have never owned, with the exception of the Nintendo. What did I sell you? This was it the Switch? It was the what was this game, the console that I sold to you? The only console that I've ever sold.
Oh, the Wii U.
The Wii U. That's the only Nintendo. Well, I had a Wii. I had a Wii. I had a Wii U. I sold I gave the Wii U to Nick. Those are the
Technically,
only
it was a
two
barter.
Nintendo machines I have ever played. So I didn't do any Mario games. I didn't do any of the Zelda games. I didn't do any of the Prince of Persia games. That is
Prince of
a
Persia wasn't on
lost
Nintendo.
years of gaming for me. And I didn't come back to gaming until after college. And that was PC gaming. And then I started back up with gaming with the PlayStation 2. And that's when I fell into the deep dark hole that is video gaming and have been there ever since. But I never saw a need to go back to Nintendo because I'm a fucking grown up. I don't need it.
Oh, shots fired.
I don't need little kid games. I am interested in Zelda, but not enough to go out and.
Don't be.
Oh, really?
I
Now talk about shots fired.
I'm on record saying that I genuinely hate Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdoms. I think those games are mind-numbingly boring and frustrating. I do not understand the hype around them. I hate almost everything about them.
And
Link.
that's why I don't have a Switch, because this guy right here, he gets me. After being with each other for what, 15 plus years, he knows me.
There are
And
other good games on the Switch. It's just Breath of the Wild. It's not one of them.
yeah. Oof, wow, those are such fighting words. Oh my God, the hate. Oh my God, the hate. You can send your hate mail to
They're so
gamehounds at
boring.
gmail.com.
You spend like he climbs like a monkey with two broken arms. He's like, and then you fall and like, well, I can't go up that way. What am I going to do? In combat, like he's terrible.
I didn't play Sonic. I didn't play Warcraft. I came back, the first game that I played that made me go.
You didn't play Warcraft, but you played World of Warcraft.
Let's not talk about World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft wrecked my life. It wrecked my
Edie
life.
could play earlier Zelda games. I'm more of a Link to the Past person.
Yeah.
I will say the earlier Zelda games better. I played like older Zelda games that I think are fun, but I think the newer Zelda games are horribly overrated.
Yeah, the first game I came back to when I was house sitting for someone and I had nothing better to do, and he had the game called I've talked about this.
Final Fantasy?
Not Phasmophobia, Phantasmagoria.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. And I played that, and it was like, oh, wow. Games have come a long way since Pirates on the Commodore. This is actually a compelling story. I can't stop playing. I mean, that game by far was one of the more, like, they could never make that game now. But was like, holy shit, this is telling stories for grown-ups, and this is a great story, and I'm in. And from that point on, it was point and click PC adventure games for grown-ups back in the Sierra games on days. And then my first Christmas present from my boyfriend at the time, eventually husband, was the PlayStation 2 on the year that nobody could get a PlayStation 2. He created a scraper bot, one of the first of the ever scraper bots, and had one of those Office Space moments. Or he created a safe scraper bot to just buy PlayStation 2s that he could find online and set it up and went to work. And then by the time he got to work, he opened it up and he had 8 of them and freaked out. So I ended up with a PlayStation 2 that year.
You know, Phantasmagoria is on sale on Steam.
Oh, it's so dated right now. I don't know that any of you would sit through it. It is an unbelievably slow game by current standards.
It's an old point and click adventure game. Yeah.
It's a point and click adventure game in the classic case of like not easy. You spend a lot of time clicking around. But the story and the gore and the not safe for work is real. Like that final scene, well, we talked about the first, it was like 6 discs. You come into disc 2 and it is a violent sexual assault, not hidden, not off the screen. You're watching it. The final like boss fight of the game, if you do it wrong, you get your head sliced open with like one of those like pendulum blades, like right through the forehead, head splitting open, brains coming out, graphic as fuck. And it was live motion capture, so it wasn't even animated. It was live motion capture. So this looks like a movie. It's if you feel like spending a bunch of time seeing how extreme games used to be before they had a lot of attention on them, that's your game. Yeah, instead of playing yourself, you can watch a playthrough with the actress. Really? Oh, I would do that. That was
Yeah,
I would imagine
I'm trying
she
to
walked
find.
away from that game with kind of scars like Shelley Duvall after The Shining kind of scars, because
Oh, people make horror games and horror things all the time and come out fine.
let's see. I can only imagine the thing you guys have done behind closed doors that after that explanation and why that memory stuck. No, not really.
Oh
That was,
no,
I mean,
also he asked, are you together? I thought it was your mom. No. No, we are just friends.
no, no.
But I'm looking.
But
Yeah, you can find
thanks for that.
playthroughs
No, it's not. We're not together. Nick is
on
happily
YouTube.
married as of last month, and I am not his mom. In fact,
Oh,
I'm technically old enough to be your mom, but I would have been a really young mom. I'd have been 19. And we're not that much different from each other. But yeah,
oh wait, I think the playthrough has both the lead actress and actor playing it.
oh God.
If
Oh,
you
that actor. Oh my God. I ended up hating him.
if you look at
Oh.
Conversations with Curtis is the YouTube channel that has it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I don't know that I could ever, if I ever met that actor, I'd be like, I can't be in the same room with you. I just can't. your presence makes me uncomfortable after that game.
Anyways, what's the next
Anyway,
story?
so yeah, that was it. So hardware drops at 27%, and we'll see if there's any lasting repercussions within the software industry. But I would imagine that somebody is very much paying attention to that number. I am curious to know how much hardware drops overall for the year when we find out those numbers next month. All right, next item.
Next one. Apparently, Naughty Dog has started crunching for Intergalactic, but not to get the game out. It's to get an internal demo done for review by Sony, because that game is not scheduled to come out for like another 2 to 3 years. So it's like, ooh, that doesn't bode well for the future, especially because Naughty Dog has a history. I think Last of Us, I think one of the Uncharted or Last of Us, there was like a lot of crunch that was really bad. And then Last of Us 2, I think, was made like relatively okay. But then that studio went a whole, I can understand the pressure on Intergalactic, because after following up Last of Us Part 2 and then going several years just remaking The Last of Us Part 2 again, and then again, and then having a multiplayer game get canceled, like I'm not saying that they're in trouble, that they need a hit, but like it's been a while since they put something out, and so the pressure's on them to do
They're
something
in the same realm
good.
as Crystal Dynamics right now. That it's like the next one has to survive, because if it doesn't, we won't.
I don't think they're in that bad of a situation, because Crystal Dynamics is owned by Embracer, and Embracer is just a poorly run piece of shit. Not Sony will not close Naughty Dog if Intergalactic does poorly. Like, they will at least have.
Will it really?
Yes, 100%. They at least have 3 strikes, and right now they have no strikes, so they've got some breathing room.
Do they? I mean, they had games canceled, and
they had games canceled because the last CEO demanded they make a live service game that never worked out. So that's not on them.
that's
The last game they made was The Last of Us Part 2, which is probably one of the most critically acclaimed things to come out of the gaming industry.
And they were able to make a television,
a television
they were able to
show.
spin off stuff, so they made money on the IP because of it. Yeah, all right,
Yes.
all right.
So Sony is like, Naughty Dog, do your thing. Just do it right. But that, like, if they're already crunching for an internal demo, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, guys.
No.
It doesn't bode well.
Nothing burger. That's a nothing burger. That's a nothing burger. Now that I have seen at 2 different places what's going on internally for a internal demo, both with Perfect Dark and now with Call of Duty, they crunch for that. I could see the crunch for that at Crystal Dynamics having been problematic for obvious reasons now that are known to us all. Sledgehammer has no concerns about anything, but they crunch for internal demos.
Okay, well, hopefully it's a nothing burger and it's not the beginning of 3 years of crunch.
And it all depends on what kind of crunch we're talking about. Are we talking about a month of crunch? Are we talking about 6 months of crunch? 6 months of crunch for a demo is way too much. Actually, that 6 months of crunch for a demo is actually getting into your production schedule. A little bit of crunch.
Apparently, the mandatory overtime began in October as an effort to finish the demo by December.
That's about right. Yeah, in my limited now still, and I have experience, but a very limited experience, I've only seen that happen twice. There is an element of crunch. And we're talking about how much mandatory overtime. Are we talking about 20 hours of overtime? Are we talking about 6 or 7 hours of overtime a week? That's
I guess let's see. The staff being asked to work a minimum of 8 extra hours a week.
Couple of hours a day. So, for demo, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't
okay.
think that I would think that that's not necessarily entirely newsworthy. Maybe it's a lot. I don't know.
It's
But
something that feels bad in light of Naughty Dog's previous history.
yes, that's the problem, is that they have a
Is that they
very
don't
bad
have
track record
they
of
don't have
crunching
the
their
benefit of
people.
the doubt.
No, they don't. So, all right. All right,
Yeah.
my next item. Where Winds Meet, since you were a big fan and
Yeah.
continue to be. So Where Winds Meet is in the like it's waning hours of its 4-week content boom that it has been doing for the entire month of December. They've been putting out a ton of additional content,
Yes.
especially this month. So the official roadmap of it, if you weren't aware, this is according to their account on Twitter. Uh, the roadmap is split into 4 weeks in December. The first week, which was the first week of December, brought 2 new Django Legacy quests, 12 Years of Feuds, and an Unholy Prophecy. Both quests now, obviously, in the game. The biggest addition is the new Roaring Sands region, which became available the same day as its global launch on mobile devices in the second week. That came December 11th. Last week was and there's also a new boss, Feng Ruji, who was added during that same week, and the arrival of the Velvet Shade sect. There's 2 limited.
That's the
Oh,
divorcees
that's your
sect.
divorce sect that you want to get into? Okay, all
Yes.
right. And then 2 limited time activities kicked off during that second week, the Fortune Beyond Parlor and the Great Faceologist. Now, the third week, which we are in the middle of, and the fourth weeks, the third week brought the Scarlet Shock Sword Trial, and the fourth week is the Blazing Gale. 5, 6, 6 sneezes. If you are new to this, Nick is a multi-sneezer, and I always count the sneezes.
I am fine.
The new Blazing Gale Dance Heroes Realm activity is next week, or next week.
Okay.
And then where the whole month of the cavalcade of content wraps up on December 30th with the fireworks festival. Just so you know where you're going and where Winds Meet, because I know
Yeah.
that you play it. And I
Well,
probably will be playing it
and I
too.
imagine that's like probably a special fireworks festival because they have a fireworks festival every Friday, or I think every Thursday. There's
Mhm.
something that happens, and then every Saturday there's like some other boat festival. A lot of the stuff they added is added to the second region. So if you start playing now, you won't see any of it until you like progress the main story to get you to that point.
How long does
Um,
the main story take? Like, how long will it take me to get to that second section so that you
I
can
mean,
so we can
if you just mainline it, not that long. It
Okay.
took me quite a while because I would get a main quest and then I just fuck off to the other side of the map, collecting collectibles, doing other side quests and
So
things
can
like
you power level me up? Like, you can guide me through this whole thing in the first section to get me through quickly so I can get the second section so that we can get
maybe,
married and divorced?
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the fun things they've added that like I've done each day. They have a mini game called I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, Medio cards, but
Mhm.
it's a type of bluffing game where
Right, you've
you
told me
have
about it. It's like a liar's dice.
oh yeah, and every time you lose, you have to like take a shot, but there's a chance that the shot could be poisoned and you're just instantly out of the game. Yeah, there's a lot of
It's not a roguelike. Your character doesn't die, right?
no.
Okay, good.
Yeah, your character dies and you start from level 1.
Yeah, that would suck.
No,
Nobody be playing that.
if you play it normally, like you just you go back into the world, but then you're drunk for a while and you either have to wait or have a doctor come heal you. But if you play it as part of the event minigame, it takes place in a special realm where everyone's wearing like masks and you start the game again.
Okay.
It's easy.
All right. Your next item.
What was my next one? What did I have?
Oh, that's right. I have one more banner I need to make.
Okay, let's get to the Bethesda thing, and then I got 2 Sony stories. So apparently, Bethesda has shown off a thing to fans. Some fans were invited down to see to Bethesda to see what they are saying is what Bethesda is saying is Starfield 2.0. Like a lot of updates to exploration, combat, just a lot of updates. But a lot of the fans have also said, temper your expectations. It's not a Cyberpunk 2.0 level update. So it's not a significant thing that's going to completely revamp how the game is. It's just, hey, here's an update with some interesting things. What's more interesting, though, and it's not from the IGN article. I got this reading something on Reddit that was like in parallel. The rumor was that basically what this is it's really Bethesda trying to upgrade the creation engine by taking a lot of features from Unreal and basically adding them to the creation engine. And that there's the coalition, the team behind Gears of War, is kind of helping to upgrade the creation engine while Bethesda works on their other games. Starfield 2.0 is like, that's what that is. That's kind of the first release test bed for all of these upgrades to the creation engine, which will then become foundational for Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5. So basically, Starfield 2.0 is less of here's a big content update meant to, boost the player base of the game, and more of like an internal experiment to upgrade the creation engine into something that can produce more modern games.
All right. I mean, I haven't gone back to Starfield since I first played it and realized it sucked.
Oh, neither have I. I have no desire to go back. This isn't going to make me go back. I think the more interesting story here is that, like, this is a test bed for creation engine advancements that will be used for Elder Scrolls 6.
Yeah. Have they updated that? Have they done a One Man's Sky on it where they realized they made a whole?
No. There was a
Sorry,
an expansion.
got a really cute joke here.
Yeah, there was an expansion to Starfield, but like nothing that really set the world on fire.
Yeah, but it wasn't like they actually went back and kind of fixed what was wrong with the game.
No,
of course not.
Because
Todd
you can't.
Howard would never do that.
Well, you can't. Like the way the game is structured, you can't fix what a lot of people hated, which is that like a lot of the planets are empty and the places that are populated are so small, you don't have the exploration that you did in Skyrim. You can't get lost in a forest and stumble across a tomb.
That arguably was what was wrong with No Man's Sky. That arguably what was wrong with Fallout 76, both of which were improved because they went back and repopulated those areas and made them more vibrant. They made it more of a world instead of just like, you make your own story. No, I do that every day. I don't need to do that. I do that never in real life. I don't need to do that in a video game. I need you to tell me a story and make me want to go somewhere. So I was just wondering if they actually responded. But this is Todd Howard. Todd Howard believes that the best game is I just give you an empty box and you fill it with stuff you like and play in it. Essentially, I just make the world, you do the work.
There
God,
was
Howard, swear to
just
God, that guy's smoking so much ketamine. You don't
um
really smoke ketamine, but you know what I mean.
speaking of Todd Howard, there was a fun YouTube video from the creator Annie Austin
Hmm.
where he says he does an experiment. How many trees are in Skyrim? How many
Individual trees or tree models?
trees? Just
We
like
counted the trees in
yeah.
Skyrim.
And so there's a video. He asked like a bunch of other creators, how many trees do you think are in Skyrim? And then he counted them in various ways. And the whole video is about him like just going around counting and then doing a different method of counting them and then doing a different method of counting them and then going into the game files in order to see what is the actual exact number of trees. And at the end, there was like a special surprise appearance by Todd Howard, who also gave his guess as to how many trees are in Skyrim.
He didn't know. That's great. How many trees are in
He?
Skyrim?
Why would anybody know that number?
How many trees are in Skyrim?
You'll have to watch the video. It's actually a really
Aw.
fascinating video to see, like, because in the end, he ends up using actual like forest conservation counting methods to determine
That's
how
kind of
many
cool.
trees are in Skyrim.
That's kind of cool.
It's very cool. It's a fun video.
All right, let's see. What's my next item? Oh, speaking of the Steam sale, I remember last week, I can't remember who it was asking at the beginning of the show if we play Arc Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
No, we don't. We haven't, but it is on sale right now. Of course, the Steam winter sale is up and going. Um, the Arc Raiders extraction shooter breakout hit. That's the one with the really bad AI voice acting, right?
I think there's some AI voice acting in it, but I don't know. It's not
Yeah.
the really, really bad one.
Yeah,
There
no, it's
was
bad. It's bad. It's
no, that
bad.
was
I'm seeing like posts about use of AI voices. Dear God, I hope the vast profits Embark Studios has made from this game will see them get those re-recorded by human actors. I think this is the one with really bad AI voice.
okay. No, there was another one. Oh no, that was a dub. That was the anime dub.
That was the dub one. Yeah, no, this is bad AI stuff. Yeah, that was an AI dub of a movie or something like that. This is actually AI voice actors and they're really, really bad. But in all other ways, it's a fantastic game, apparently. It is 20% off right now for the duration of the winter break. So it's now $32. So if you're looking to pick up Arc Raiders on deal, if you're looking to pick up Arc Raiders, now would be a good time to do it because it doesn't really go on sale because it's so popular. But right now it's
Well, it's also
it's
brand
20% off.
new.
It's brand new. It's 20% off. If you want to jump in, now's a good time to do it. That
Cool.
was super short because I'm saving my big ranty one. Yeah, I haven't not had my rant yet. We have another rant.
Okay.
So we'll wait.
Then I'll just do my two stories real quick.
Okay.
Sony and Tencent have settled their Light of Mortrium suit.
I don't remember
this
that one.
this was Tencent was making a game called Light of Mortrium, which
Mhm.
really, really looked like Horizon Zero Dawn, or
Mhm.
just the Horizon franchise in general, in
Yeah.
that it was a game that had a red-haired protagonist fighting robot dinosaurs, robot creatures with robot designs that really looked ripped out of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Yeah, and like I was always a little bit on Tencent's side because the game itself, when you look at videos, it looks like a more free-to-play open world game, and it's mainly the aesthetics that it's kind of ripping off of Horizon, not the gameplay. But apparently some lawyers disagreed with me. The suit has now been settled, We don't know exactly what the terms are, but it's worth noting that the Epic store page for Light of Mortrium, and I believe the Steam page,
It's
are,
Mortimer, by the way.
how do you say it?
Motoram. Motoram.
Motoram.
Motoram.
I guess, yeah, Motoram.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking fantasy names. They need someone to pronounce the name.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the point is the store pages for this game are down. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever settlement was reached, apparently restoring the store pages was not part of it. So
Oh,
that kind of brings into question if the game is still coming out at all.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why you were on the side of Tencent on this one. I mean, it was a different kind of game, but it is so very much.
Because it looks like it, but I don't see that. I don't really see that as justification for like a suit. I am always on pro ripoff. I'm pro ripoff because
Okay.
ripping off a genre is oftentimes how you push it forward. Like having someone else rip off a game designer style, they usually don't just copy it. They do something a little different. And like this is Horizon Zero Dawn with a little bit of a different twist to it. And like that's often how you evolve the genres, how you evolve mechanics is by other people ripping them off and doing something slightly different. And so that's why I'm pro ripoff because that's how things evolve.
Yeah. All right. I won't disagree on that.
But the lawyers disagreed with me, and Tencent settled the suit with the game store pages not restored. So who knows if we'll ever see it again.
We'll see.
And then also a short little news story, and I don't really know what this means, but apparently Sony bought Peanuts.
The cartoon, the Charles Schultz.
Sony now owns a majority share in what is the company?
Charles, was it Schultz Enterprises?
Uh they have a 41% stake in Peanuts Holdings LLC.
Oh,
And so that means that after the deal closes, oh no, they're going to take they're buying a different person's 41% stake so that by the time the deal closes, Sony will have an 80% equity in Peanuts Holdings LLC.
interesting.
What that means, I don't know. Why bother? Is Peanuts still relevant in 2025? That is a good question that I don't know if anyone at Sony actually asked before spending this money.
I guess every time you get the sad Christmas tree, they're going to charge you.
I don't know. Is like apparently there's a new Peanuts show coming, but it's coming exclusively to Apple TV.
Wow, talk about trying to get something not seen.
Right? And like I say that Apple may be the best streamer with the best content, but also they're the streamer that has the least subscriptions, which is honestly probably why.
Because they're behind a paywall.
But like, sure, it's a weird purchase,
That is a weird purchase.
right?
But I mean, maybe they were already in for like,
Like they already owned
39. If they only earned 39% and the other guy was selling it a deal, why not?
Yeah, they already owned about 40%. The person whose stake they bought was 40%, so now they own 80. Yeah, maybe they got a deal on it.
Who knows? But that is kind of weird that, you buy something with Charlie Brown on it, you're
Yeah.
giving money to Sony of all things.
Now let's look for the official Charlie Brown branded PlayStation 5.
It would be yellow with the black
Oh
zigzag.
yeah. Instead of the yellow line, it's a jagged
Yep.
black one.
Yep. Like your blanket behind you.
Oh yeah, like that
There
one.
you go, right there. All right. Well, that's actually a good segue into my final ranty item, and I'm trying to keep this rant to a minimum because we are now 2 hours and 30 minutes into the show. 2 hours 40 minutes. So I don't know if you heard, but you know that Trump was requiring Snoopy Doghouse console would be cool, AC Ray.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. So you know that Donald Trump's administration was making TikTok sell its American arm because they didn't want it owned by Chinese company.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. And he banned TikTok for like 2 days, and the entire world of teens and preteens lost their fucking minds. But he had been threatening, like, we're gonna turn you off in the United States. And then they threatened, and then they didn't do it, and then they threatened, and they didn't do it, and then they threatened, and they did do it. And then TikTok says, okay, we'll sell. So they said that they were going to sell their American arm of TikTok to someone in the future. Well, that someone in the future has been found. The new owners are problematic, and they may sound familiar. This was announced last night. They have signed a deal. They're to create a joint venture controlled by American investors. The closing date is January 22nd, so it is just a month away. Half of the joint venture is going to be owned by a group of investors, including Oracle, Silver Lake, and Emirati investments firms MGX. Why are you doing this?
Don't. We don't want China to have it, but Saudi Arabia, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not just that. Why are you? Did you bring that up, or did that get up by a mistake?
No, that's up by mistake. I removed that.
Oh, no, you just don't know how to do it right. There you go.
No, I had removed it.
No, you didn't. You
Yes, I
added.
did.
You added.
Anyways.
So yeah. So do you
Yeah,
these
Silver
names
Lake-
at all
Silver
ring a
Lake-
bell to you?
Silver Lake and the Emirates Saudi Fund are the people that what was the big game deal that just went down? That was the
EA. They purchased EA.
Yes, that's what it was. I was like, no, it wasn't Activision. What else happened? Yeah, they're the ones that bought EA.
And they're the ones that after Netflix said they were going to acquire Warner Brothers.
No, they're the ones that initially wanted to acquire Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers didn't want to sell, and then Netflix made a higher offer to Warner Brothers.
No, there was a hostile takeover afterwards where they upped the amount.
That's step 3. It was Larry Ellison wants to buy Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers didn't want to sell to him. Netflix makes a higher offer. Then rumors of them trying to hostile takeover.
Right, but Larry Ellison isn't part of that second one. The second one that they did was Silver Lake and MGX.
Mm.
So slowly but surely, Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of the president, and Emirati Investment Group MGX, the Saudi Arabian government, or Saudi Arabia, well, it's pretty much the Saudi Arabian government because whoever has the money is the government, have taken over games. They've taken over media, and now they're taking over TikTok, which means that they will know everything you play and control everything you play, everything you watch, and everything you do online, on social media. Everything you think, everything you look at, everything you like, everything you buy, all of it.
Yes, but as long as China doesn't own it.
This is
China bad.
terrifying
China bad.
that it really comes down to the son-in-law of the president that made them sell and the Saudis are slowly taking over media in the United States. And if there is one thing the last 10 years have told us, whoever controls the media controls the message. Whoever controls the message controls politics, controls the government, controls us. Like, if it weren't for social media, our government wouldn't look the way it looks right now. Our interpersonal politics with each other wouldn't look like what it looks like right now. 10 years ago, we all kind of sort of liked each other. 10 years ago, we were all American. Now we're different flavors of America, and some of us don't want to be part of it. And some of us want others of us kicked out. And it keeps changing of who they want to get kicked out this week or next week. And that is being determined by the messages that we are receiving from our media. Whoever controls the media controls the message. Whoever controls the message controls us. And it's the president's son-in-law who made this happen, who required this to happen.
This is the face of corruption. This is
everything. It's not just the face of corruption. It's the face of, we are slowly in a world where what we think is not only no longer controlled by us individually, it will be controlled by a very, very small group of men who aren't even American.
That's the end stage of the downfall of the capitalist economy that America's been going through for the last several years, where everything is for sale and everything has to be acquired.
And if they wanted to foment a civil war within the United States, which, I mean, we're as close to it as we have been since the Civil War, they can do it with a sweep of a hand, with a, little edict.
Yes. Although it is worth saying that they have not actually purchased Warner Brothers. Like, that is not a done deal.
In fact, Warner Brothers has told its investors, what they did with this hostile takeover is that they went in with more money than Netflix and went to the actual shareholders and say, we'll offer you more money. Reject Netflix and take ours.
Yeah.
And give us your stock. And Warner Brothers has said to the investors, hey, don't do that. I know you'd make more money, but we're suggesting you reject that offer. So good on Warner Brothers for trying to not do it. And hopefully the investors listen. But if the shareholders decide to sell at that higher, if they vote and opt to sell at that higher amount, there's nothing that Warner Brothers can do. They're essentially going directly to the people who own the paper and saying, give us your paper and we'll pay you more. It's a very compelling argument.
Yes.
But it's also terribly problematic on a lot of levels that reach far, 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 far into the future of this country. When we are releasing pretty much at this point in a matter of 2 years, in really a matter of 1 year, have handed over such massive media conglomerates with such far-reaching tendrils into our society and also scraping information about all of us and handing it to individuals, and not individuals that are even have a vested interest in this country surviving. It's really, really fucking scary. And I mean, I think if there was a different president, if there was a different Congress, I think that there would be.
They wouldn't sell to Saudi Arabia? Yeah, probably.
They would stop the sale. They would stop the sale. They absolutely would stop the sale, because I can't see any administration, any Congress ever in the history of the United States allowing something like this to happen that would be so possibly detrimental and catastrophic for America, America's culture, American society, American individuals like us, than this. And it will be very, very hard to extricate ourselves from it. Let's keep in mind, ever seen Citizen Kane? Who it was based on? There's William Randolph Hearst. They broke him up, and he just owned a few newspapers. And they forced him to break him up because it was one man holding way, way, way too much power and controlling way, way, way too much of the opinion of America. And essentially, he was in a position where he could subvert the government and overthrow the government because he had that kind of control of media.
Yes.
That's the essential. It's the reason why it's the First Amendment. Freedom of the press, the First Amendment, because they say that democracy is to what's essential to democracy is a free press. Well, press isn't just newspapers. Press isn't just news. Press is media of all kinds, including video games, including movies, including social media. And it's all being handed away. And
Except it's all for sale, because
it is now.
What's more important than the First Amendment? Money.
Well, it's always been for sale, but there's always been guardrails. And that has been the United States government, the FTC, that could step in and say, yeah, no, you can't do that. We're here to prevent monopolies. We're here to prevent things that are problematic. And now all of those guardrails have been pulled off, and there is nobody guarding the store. And it is genuinely for sale to anyone who has the right connections.
And I will say, a lot of this is supercharged under the Trump administration, obviously. Ultra corrupt. Jared Kushner, he's buddies with the Saudis, so of course they're going to sell to them. Even though, same thing with China, we're just selling institutions of America to foreign entities. This all has to do with like a slow decline of America's soft power overseas. We don't have as much influence overseas. Now overseas it's influencing us. But even though this is all supercharged under Trump, it's not entirely his fault. A lot of this was still happening under Biden.
Oh yeah.
I think this is the end
Xbox
result.
And Activision happened under Biden.
Yes. And this
should have never happened.
This is the end result of a lot of aspects of American culture over the past 50 years. The kind of selling out America to billionaires, hollowing out of the middle class. And now those billionaires are teaming up with other foreign billionaires to buy more aspects.
Right.
This is what I just want to say, this is an issue beyond party politics. This is something that both parties have contributed to because of the money involved in it. It just so happens that the person in charge now is really just let's put the pedal to the metal and sell.
Well, the person in charge now is only letting it happen because his son-in-law is involved in the deal. The whole Silver Lake thing, I mean, all right, back up, a little contrast on it. My family owns a little strip mall, and that strip mall was in 2020 was focused on as being the perfect location for one of 3 licenses to be allowed by that city for selling cannabis, the first 3. And we had everybody wanting to, because they had to get the spot before they applied for the license and go up for, compete for those 3. Mm-hmm. Everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted in. The company that ended up getting the spot we made the agreement with was, let's say could call it Company X. Company X brought in this guy as a partner. Really wasn't a partner. They didn't need him. But Company X was out of Los Angeles and also had deep ties in China. This guy they brought in was the son of the biggest billionaire in the county. Old Italian family, let's just say old Italian family in the refuse business. Everybody knew his name. The old man makes tons of donations. He's very, very politically powerful, let's just say. So was this guy brought in because he was so great and because he's such a good guy and because he knows the business and he's a great guy to partner with? No, he was brought in because they knew that in order to get that license approved by the city council, they had to have this guy. Daddy was going to put pressure on them to give it to them because his son was part of this deal. It's exactly what ended up happening. That is why Silver Lake is on there. Do you think the Saudis need an American investment firm with Jared Kushner on it? No. They needed Silver Lake to be part of it because Jared Kushner is the son-in-law of President Trump, who is more than any other president has complete and utter control over the House of Representatives and the Senate, more than any other president ever. Nobody's going to put up a fight when Donald Trump says jump. Everybody in Congress says how high, or at least the majority of Congress says how high. So really, Jared Kushner's Silver Lake has nothing to do with the sale. Is he going to have any input in this? No. Just like, dude, Sonny Boy in our deal in our cannabis cannabis company has anything to say to the cannabis company? No. He's the CEO, or no, he is the director of community management. So all he is just to get his name on there in order for them to get the deal signed by the city, to wield a little bit of political pressure to ensure that they got one of those 3 licenses. And it worked. And in this case, same situation. This would not be happening were it not for Silver Lake being run by Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of the president. The president walks over to the Congress and says, approve it. We've had the degradation of things being for sale in the past and deals being approved by the FTC that never should have been approved. But there was never this very clear line of, is this corrupt? Well, let's just say Daddy runs is an old Italian family running a garbage business. And this is his son. We've all seen The Sopranos. We all know what that means. This is the, well, first off, happening all within 6 months of each other. All these 3 deals happening.
Yeah.
Number one. So I've never seen anything like it so compressed and such large deals, so compressed with just these firms. And
it's like a very concentrated takeover effort.
Yeah, so clearly, like,
because
no other
remember,
administration would let this happen because it is so fucking obvious.
Because also remember, Larry Ellison, who heads Paramount, just finished buying Skydance, another movie studio,
and Annapurna.
And then, well, I think Annapurna, they were already part of Annapurna. But he just finished buying Skydance, immediately turns around, buy Warner Brothers. So it's like, buy it, buy another one. It's like, it's Embracer in 2019 levels of, we're just going to buy everything.
Well, I think that they know this is the only time they will ever get away with being able to do this.
Yes, you're right.
They could never have done this 10 years ago. They can't do this
now, taking advantage.
They probably won't be able to do this next year or certainly in a few years. Whenever there is a change, because there will be an inevitable change. It's the way things always are. It goes back and forth all the time. There's likely to be a change in some dynamic in Washington that will be some kind of guardrail that will prevent this from happening. But at this point, our best hope is that sometime in the future, not right now, because of course, Supreme Court, it will have to go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court right now is not entirely inclined to go against the wishes of the Trump administration, which is also completely fucking unprecedented.
Let's just say it. Like that, not to be trusted, corrupt,
Also unprecedented. Also, like, significantly unprecedented. There is an absolute, like, empty runway. So that's where they're all doing it so quickly as fast as they are, because never have all the stars been aligned for something like this to happen.
Mhm.
And it likely that door is open for a very short period of time. So that's why we're seeing all of this happening in 6 months. But at some point in the future, these things will have to be broken up in order for at some point these things will have to be broken up. I can't see this staying the way it is for as long as but for the period that it is all in one spot, you should be very terrified of it. You should be a little afraid for life as we know it here in this country for right now. Just saying. And I hate the fact that 3 or 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago, probably even at least 10 years ago, you would talk about these doomsday scenarios of things getting too many things, buying each other up, and I hate the fact that it's all being owned by smaller and smaller groups, and I'm like, "It's not so bad. I mean, this is inevitable, and then eventually it'll all break up, and then it'll go back, and it'll all break up." And this, like, I never in a million years would I think in my lifetime that I would see something like this happening on the scale that is happening as quickly as it's happening. You were right. You were right. And I am
About what?
about how when I remember when we were starting to see like studios starting to close and being eaten up and studios being eaten up. And I'm like, it's fine. Other new studios will start underneath them. That's what makes room for new studios to start. I was poo-pooing all you were saying about all of these acquisitions. And you sounded the alarm and I was not with you on it. And now all of a sudden this is happening. And I'm like, holy shit, this is like not only was Nick right, this is almost like a doomsday scenario at this point. When you start thinking about TikTok and Warner Brothers Disney and Warner Brothers, not Warner Brothers Disney, but
Yeah. Not
TikTok,
yet.
Warner Brothers, yeah, Skydance, EA, what else did they buy? I mean, it's so much I can't even remember at this point.
I know they got a big deal with WWE. They got a whole big deal with golf. They
FIFA,
got that's right. The esports.
esports, it's all coming into the hands of a foreign government. It's a this is going to leave a mark. Let's just say
Yeah.
we're going to see
Yeah.
changes. We're going to see changes, and I just want all of us to be aware of these changes that are happening. That every bit of consumption that we have done all our lives has to be done a little bit differently now. The foundation of our free press is very different now than what it was
Although about
for the time being.
oh, now they're gonna see our data. Like, I don't think that really matters because
It's not just seeing our data.
our data's like taken by everyone
Yes.
already using it for horrible means.
It's seeing our data,
Google.
but it's seeing it in our data in real time, and it's so much of it at a time where, you're bringing up AI. AI is not great for art, not great for a lot of stuff, but it is really good at crunching numbers. It is really good at data analysis.
Sometimes.
Always has been.
Sometimes.
Yeah, you're going to get stuff out, but you can take vast amounts of data and condense it down way quicker at an unprecedented rate than we've ever had it before to be read by people.
Yes, you can do that. I'm just
It's
saying
the analysis. The
sometimes
analysis of the data is not necessarily great, but you can crunch that data faster now than ever.
But like there is like ChatGPT sometimes gets basic arithmetic wrong.
True, but that's ChatGPT. This is we're talking at a higher level stuff. If you don't tell it to use large language models, it's not. It's better.
There's only ChatGPT. You think Saudi Arabia is using a different LLM?
True.
If
True.
anything, China might be using one. Maybe
True.
they're using China's DeepSeek one, but like, no, it's Chat GPT all the way down.
Yep. But regardless, it's like they're going to have instant access to all this information and be able but it's not just the information they're pulling from us, but now it's also controlling all the information that's coming to us.
So I'd like to end by bringing this back to video games.
Yes.
In Assassin's Creed Brotherhood,
Mm-hmm.
there was some collectibles that you could find that would show you some of the lore of the game, like kind of explain some of the lore of the game. And if you don't know, for recap, in that era of Assassin's Creed, it was all about the secret war between the Assassins and the Templars. Both factions were searching for ancient alien artifacts that could be used to like manipulate people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
The Templars were they were conservatives. They believed in the power of the individual, that humanity needed a few exceptional individuals to lead it into the future. The Assassins were Democrats. They believed that that the community needed to guide people, that it was all about democracy, voting. We need to do this. And so as you found these collectibles, you could see how like a bunch of different aspects of history were affected by different groups. Oh, the assassins in like some uprising in South America, or how the Templars were used to
French Revolution.
Yeah, things like that. Abstergo is a company that is run by the Templars. One of the things you find is that Citizens United, arguably the beginning of all of this, which gave companies,
and we were warned about that too.
Gave companies the power to donate unlimited funds into elections, was pushed by the Templars, who conveniently own a giant company. And also, you find out that there's quite a lot of Templars on the Supreme Court, including John Roberts himself. So I just like to go back and note how the fictionalized conspiracy of the old Assassin's Creed games is frighteningly prescient.
It's kind of coming through.
It's like, oh my God, you were on the money more than you thought.
Mm-hmm. It's a bit like South Park predicting, South Park, all the predictions of like South Park, they get everything right. It's like, well, I think that it was just luck. But yeah, that was one of those things where it's like, oh crap.
It's like,
we are in a Abstergo.
It's like, oh, you mean like a secret group of powerful individuals creating government law to give the corporation power while also using the bribing people on the courts to help pass these laws that benefit them. It's like, oh, wow. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying is, come on, Assassins, you need to step up.
Oh, hey, you want to have another one that goes into that same idea?
Also, apparently Glee predicted Trump's first win.
Yeah. I think South Park did. No, Simpsons did.
Oh, yeah.
Way before anybody else. Something also that came up this week, totally unrelated, but in that same vein. I don't know if you saw that there is a huge kerfuffle. I called it kerfuffle correctly this time. Thank you very much, Peanut Gallery. The Freemasons, the UK government is trying to force all the members of the Metropolitan Police in the UK who are members of the Freemasons to disclose they are members of the Freemasons, and it is causing it's like methinks they doth protest too much. They are, I
Yeah.
mean, the Freemasons are suing the shit out of them because they're like, we don't want you to know who's a member of the Freemason, because it's always been kind of one of those things. And I don't know if you ever watch like British TV shows, but it's like, it's always like Freemasonry in the police in the UK was very much a thing. Like you wanted to advance, you became a member
Yeah.
of the Freemasons.
Yeah.
You didn't advance if you weren't a member. And now they're like trying to force people to disclose whether they're that are members of the police department to disclose that they are Freemasons, and they're having none of it. And it makes you go, ooh, there's the Templars right there. Because the Freemasons, of course, go back to the days of the Knights Templar.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're Knights of the Freemasons. So
Assassin's
it's
Creed
like,
was right.
this is all so
I know. You know what?
Assassin's Creedy. It's kind of creepy.
You know what? I know Mel Gibson is problematic, but I kind of want to go rewatch Conspiracy Theory. That 90s thriller movie that was basically like all your conspiracies are true.
Was it the Penguin Report? Is that another one with Julia Roberts?
I don't know that
It was
one.
another big conspiracy. I never saw it, but like it was also like another one of those big conspiracy theory things. And of course, Da Vinci Code and all of that. All of that stuff is starting to like.
Da Vinci Theory is fine. Da Vinci Theory is just like, oh yeah, Jesus is alive. Jesus lived. That's all that's one doing.
Yeah, I never saw
No,
it.
no, it wasn't Jesus lived. It was that Jesus fucks. That was the big
Oh.
secret conspiracy of Da Vinci
Oh.
Code.
Okay. All right then. We figured that out with Jesus Christ Superstar, that Jesus had a thing for Mary.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It is sort of become Assassin's Creed real life.
All
Makes you
conspiracies are
wonder,
true.
is Yves Guillemot, is he a Templar or is he an assassin? Was he trying to warn us? Or was he just paving the way and sending a message to the rest of the Templars of how to do it?
Well, according to Assassin's Creed
Pelican Brief,
lore,
that's it.
according to oh, that's right. In Assassin's Creed 4, you work at Abstergo Games, who's making an Assassin's Creed game.
That's right.
So I feel like the developers were the assassins trying to warn us about Yves being a Templar.
Oh. Man, I don't like this game. Can we go to another game, please? Can I turn this off and reboot? I want to start this one over and play a different path.
This is why I loved Assassin's Creed during that era, because like it was really political in like some really daring ways. And now it's just about like fucking Greek gods. I don't know. Like they have completely disconnected from all of that.
Eve figured out. Eve figured out
what they were doing, and he's like, shut that shit down.
Shut that shit down.
You're not going to talk about politics. You're not going to talk about South American uprisings. You're going to talk about Greek gods. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all. Anyway, that's a lovely way to enter your holidays, to just sit around with the family and think about how much you love them and how the world is fucked. Fucked in half fucked.
Come play Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and get inspired.
It is. I'm not gonna lie.
Those wrist blades are really fucking cool.
Yeah, it is a little scary thinking about the fact that I am, in theory, retiring in the next 6 to 7 years, maybe 8 years tops, and I'm gonna be retiring into this, and we're about to to see all of this just going off the rails. And I just want to
This is what you do.
Have a nice, quiet retirement with my 401k and my big batch of.
Take all your 401k and invest it into Silver Lake.
Silver Lake is not publicly traded.
Oh, damn. Well,
And
find some
that's
Saudi.
the whole thing.
Find some Saudi
If it
company. you can
were,
buy.
this wouldn't be a problem. None of this is publicly traded. It's all private.
Then it just invested into AI. I'm sure that'll be fine.
No, I moved. I sold all my Netflix, sold all my other stuff just before it hit a 10-to-1 split because I moved it all into the safest possible, least volatile funds. I don't invest in funds. I moved all of my stocks into very conservative funds.
I mean, that's probably a good idea.
Mm,
Like, that's good long-term planning.
It's good. Yeah, but man, I really wish I'd have gotten that 10-to-1 split.
Everyone regrets not buying Netflix when it split into Quickster.
I did that with
Everybody
Tesla.
remembers No, nobody remembers Quickster.
Nobody,
That's the
yeah.
problem. But the people that do are like, son of a bitch.
I did that with Tesla as I sold it. I sold it at the top right before it split 10-to-1, and then I rebought it back to get the 10-to-1 split because I figured that there would be a rise, and it sunk like a rock.
Okay, maybe you should just always wait until after the split to sell.
And then I sold. No, generally speaking, splits on stuff like that, it goes up. Like Netflix, oh my God, Netflix absolutely soared it, doubled in price after the split. But I bought it back, it split, it sunk unprecedentedly. I held on to it, held on to it, held on to it, held on to it. It rose, it's doing great. I'm back on top. I'm making tons of money, triple digit percentage increase, doing great. And then the Nazi salute happened, and it was like, yep, sell it again. And that was another smart move. Now it's back up where it was when I sold it, but I'm not buying it again. Fuck that guy. Too much ketamine. Too much ketamine rolling through that guy's brain at this point. He has fried it all. By the way, did you, final closing notes, it is almost our last thing a year. We're just kind of shooting the shit at this point. Did you hear about the power outage in San Francisco?
I did. I don't know what caused it, but I just heard that it was a big power outage.
So it started in one little area on the west side of the city, and much like a doomsday movie, every like 40 minutes, another section of the city kept losing power until most of the city was out of power. And still there are things, and then a substation caught fire, probably from shorting out. So yeah, essentially it was one of those domino effect collapses of the power grid in San Francisco that just went through almost the entire city. And I haven't heard what happened. I don't think it was like pandemonium along the lines of like, remember when, I don't know, probably too young to remember the great power outage of New York City where the entire New York City went complete anarchy. Also, 9 months later, there was a baby boom in New York. But yeah, it's true. Yeah, it was in the 70s. Like all of New York went dark and just roving gangs and street fires and home invasions and looting and robbing. And it was just, I think it was 78, I want to say. It was nothing like that. It was just very inconvenient and a pain in the ass, and all of the street lights out in the entire city, which means, of course, in San Francisco, it means nobody stopped at any of the four-way stops. It just means go 90. So there were lots of car accidents, and of course, during the middle of the weekend of one of the biggest shopping weekends of the year, all of like the major shopping
no
areas
traffic
shut
lights,
down.
none of that.
Nobody could come into the city. BART was down. All of the stores had to shut down and close their doors because they were afraid of looting, because of course all of the
they wouldn't even have
alarms.
payment systems that worked. They'd have to take cash.
Right.
Could
And
they
all of
even
the
open
alarm
their
systems
doors?
are
All
off.
those stores?
No, they boarded up because of course all the alarm systems are off.
Oh yeah.
No, it's bad. It's still a lot of people out of power, and it's been more than 24 hours in San Francisco. A lot of it's come back, but a lot of it is still out. So it's been bad. There we go. 77. I was close. 70 New York, the great power outage of 77. We were sitting on the West Coast, just like riveted to our television screens, like, oh my God, it is turned into complete anarchy in New York. And it was complete anarchy. It was just the night of terror. Like
Do they
guns
have
came out and it was bad. But San Francisco wasn't that bad. But
yeah, do they
by
have
that scale.
an idea of what caused it yet?
They haven't said, but it's got to have been a rolling outage due to something getting overloaded and then overloading the
God,
next stations and
this
the next stations and the next stations.
this article, San Francisco power outage leaves a large majority of city without lights, causes self-driving cars to stall on the road.
Yeah, that was another one. Waymo has suspended operations in San Francisco because of it.
I wouldn't have thought. But wait, why? I guess they can't recharge. They could keep going for a while, but they can't recharge.
But they have no connection to anything because all the servers are gone.
Oh, wait. Are you telling me that the Waymo cars are online only?
I don't think that they're online, but they've got to check in.
Wow, all of the most horrible aspects of video games are really part of the real world now. Hey, do you want to buy a car that requires an internet connection to function?
I don't know that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. It was pretty bad. So yeah, that's what's going on in San Francisco right now. Fortunately, Nick and I are sufficiently south. We're about how many
Oh,
miles?
I haven't noticed anything.
I didn't notice
Everything's
it
been
until I got on the
perfectly fine.
news last night, and it's like leading the news, like, oh my God, pandemonium in San Francisco. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, how did I miss this? I'm normally so connected, and I just didn't check the news yesterday because I was sick in bed and I didn't turn on the TV.
Oh,
I was just
okay.
lying in bed playing Balatro.
I'm gonna say this now. I'm off for the next 2 weeks, which means I'm not in front of my work computer, which means I'm not like typing and then getting bored and then going to Google News.
Yeah.
So like for the next 2 weeks, the only news I will consume is like video game and movie related, and it's gonna be so nice. It's
Well,
just gonna
apparently
be
video game is the news these days.
yeah, right?
Like all the doomsday scenarios of video games are all happening right now this week. Actually, all happening yesterday.
Yeah.
So go over to
You know
your
what?
light
Yeah.
switch and turn it on and off, and think to yourself, how lucky I am that I can do that.
Hey Google, turn off the office lights. Yeah. Hey Google, turn on the office lights. I'm like, Jesus, let there be light.
I don't know. I don't want to connect my lights to Google. I feel bad that I actually have a Google in my house that plays, and all I used to do is use it to hook up to the cameras and play NPR in the morning when I make my coffee.
Mm.
I don't have it hooked up to any of my services
really,
or memberships or anything like that.
It's really useful for the lights because you can turn them on and off without having to get up. You can dim them. That's the nicer thing is like I can actually dim it, 50%, 20%. So when I watch like a movie at night, I can actually get nice movie theater lighting instead of having it all pitch black.
Yeah, but it's listening. And if you say dildo 10 times, it will show up on your Amazon account.
Hey Google, dildo, 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 dildo. Sorry, I didn't understand.
Also say sex toys a couple of times, just randomly. Don't say, hey, Google. Just say randomly sex toys in your house a few times.
Okay.
I think I told you this story.
Yeah, the rubber chicken story. Yeah.
No. The rubber chicken story I deserved because I ordered that
Oh.
rubber chicken. I was very drunk. The grocer rubber chickens and the bag of dicks.
Yeah.
No. This was, man, I hope Chris never watches this show. So
I don't my
Chris
phone.
went away
I could call Chris.
Chris went away for a weekend to Sacramento to a volleyball tournament with his daughter, and I stayed at the house to take care of the cats.
Mm-hmm.
And I was by myself in the house, and I don't know how I got onto it, but I was having a conversation on the phone with a friend, and I mentioned sex toys a couple of times. So Chris comes back from the trip. Now, I did not know this, but there's an Alexa in the house. I didn't know this. The Alexa in the kitchen. Had no clue it was there. I come back, and it was either maybe 2 or 3 days later. It might have been it may have been when he came back. Maybe it was probably 2 or 3 days later.
Was there a package at the door?
No. Chris said, this weird thing showed up on my maybe you might be interested on Amazon. And it was this giant rainbow horse-sized dildo. And he's like, why would that show up on my on the, like, where? How would it even think that this would be what? How would this how? And I'm like, I have no idea. And it occurred to me that I had said sex toys, dildo, donkey schlong, a couple of other things in his kitchen. And it was only maybe a couple of days later when the Alexa like mistakenly came on in the kitchen that I realized that there was an Alexa in the house. And I couldn't bring telling him that I suspect the reason that he was suggested a horse-sized rainbow dildo by Google or by Amazon was because I had said that stuff in his kitchen.
This is why you want your always on electronics to be from Google. That way they don't actually order you stuff from Amazon.
Oh,
you got it. Your corporate gigantic separate, you know?
But I guarantee you your algorithm at Google has just changed significantly. Just remember, don't talk about sexy stuff around your stuff. Don't. Especially your Alexa. Especially if it's linked to somebody else's account, because you have no idea what might be showing up on your suggested for you.
Hey, Google, dildo. I didn't understand. Oh, you understand. Don't play dumb. Oh, it's listening. It was like, oh yeah, I can see it's listening. It was like, oh yeah, I can see
Nick.
it's listening.
Always
oh yeah,
listening.
I can. No, I'm watching it type out what I say now. Let's see how long I can go. I don't know what it will do with all of this text. I'm designed to wait in standby until I detect an activation, like when I hear, "Hey Google, the status indicator on your device lets you know when I'm activated."
I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank
anyway,
you for the breakdown.
Don't talk about sexy stuff around an Alexa device. It shows up surprisingly quickly. Terrifyingly quickly. And when he showed me that, I'm like, I have no idea. And in the back of my head, I'm like, you were talking about sex toys like less than a week ago.
You're just like, I don't know. Huh.
Like I literally was having a conversation about those, but I'm not telling you I was having a conversation about those.
It must be your dad.
Yeah, I don't know. I said maybe it was something Claire looked up.
She just throw her under the bus.
I'm a terrible person. So bad. There's my morally questionable thing of the year. I blamed it on the girl child. And of course, he's never going to ask her. And she's never going to talk about it.
You know what?
Perfect crime.
You know what? Victimless crime. It's perfect.
Exactly, victimless, but perfect.
No, if no one says anything, no one knows anything.
Claire, when you're 25 or 26,
38,
if I'm still
72.
around, I will be. I will cut this, or I will at least timestamp it, and I will send it to you so that you know what I did. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, but you would have done this.
No, she doesn't know. It's fine. It's all good.
She would have.
Victimless crime.
She would have found it hilarious. Also,
Oh, see, that's
your dad
fine.
and I get high in his bathroom every single night.
Why the bathroom? That's
Well, it's
like
because it's got the vent. It's got the air vent. He's got a little water closet, so it's just like this little teeny tiny like room with a toilet, and you can close the door, and it's got a really powerful vent. You can take a hoot off of a vape pen. Your dad's a pothead.
he has a backyard.
No, we can't do that.
You know what's a better vent than the bathroom?
No, because then the
Nature.
neighbors would know. Then the neighbors would know. He could just go upstairs, go and, like before we start watching a movie, as soon as he's done with dinner, he's up in the bathroom having a hoot, and then we're watching a movie. And then halfway through the movie, he's like, I feel like brownies. So then we go downstairs and make some brownies.
Wait,
There's a reason why there was so much ice cream consumed on your house, because there was an ice cream break in the middle of every movie.
Did you watch For All Mankind?
No, we haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Oh, you should. It's really good. But there's like a moment when people are on a space station and they're like figuring out how to sneak a smoke. And so they've got like a vacuum and they're like,
That's kind of, yeah. So now you know, Claire, what was going on when you were 14.
oh, let's be honest. She knows.
And I didn't do it to him. I didn't do it at all. In fact, I don't even like doing it, but your dad insists.
Let's be honest. She probably knows.
Although she has caught us. I love her to death, but she's not one of those kids that goes, when something weird happens, it's like, she doesn't stop and go, She's caught us both walking out of the bathroom together to come in. It's like, hey, Dad, where's the ibuprofen? Or hey, Dad. She just walks in the bathroom, and it's like we come out of the bathroom, and there she is standing there, and she doesn't bat an eyelash. Completely oblivious.
Oblivious or don't care?
Oblivious. I love her to death, but she's the most oblivious 14-year-old I have ever met in my life. I'm making cookies. And I'm like, don't eat the cookies. We need to pack them up for the neighbors. And she's like, why would you give cookies to the neighbors? I go, because they give cookies to you. What neighbors? The neighbors across the street. They give us cookies? I'm like, Claire, I've only been here 1 year. And even I know that the nice little old lady and little old man who live across the street have been bringing you cookies every year since you were a child. No, they don't. Yes, they do. And I told Chris, I'm like, Claire doesn't know that they bring him cookies. He goes, I tell her every year they brought cookies. I go, that plate of cookies, Claire, that appears every year, where do you think it comes from? Oh, I didn't really think about it.
It's Santa, duh.
No, she just didn't really think about it. She just sees cookies and eats it and doesn't ever think about, where do cookies come from?
The cookie fairy.
They just appear. Magic things happen to Claire. Things just appear in her life.
I mean,
just for it, and it just magically appears because that's what Claire's life is like.
You tease, but like that sounds pretty awesome.
It is. It's a nice place to be. Like, I had to give her a talk about, like, she made a big deal. She had a Secret Santa this week with her friends, and she got the Secret Santa of her best friend, and she made a big deal about buying something for her friend, and she brought it down and she showed me the bag that she made with the big bow on it and custom made. And she goes, look, isn't it pretty? I did this. It's like, look at, isn't this great? And she like, Dad, you have to drive me to school because it's raining. And also, if I can't get a seat on work, I might get the bag crushed. And it's really important that the bag stay perfect because, of course, I put so much work into the bag. And he's like, yeah, no problem. So he took her to work, or took her to school, even though it was hell. because of, finals week. And I had to have a talk with her last week. I'm like, Claire, have you gotten anything for your dad for Christmas? And she's like, and this was the day after her grandfather's 94th birthday where we gave him presents. And she rolled her eyes the whole time about how he was an old man. And I had to give her a talking to about like, and I turned to her and I go, Claire, he's 94. You have no idea how much I would kill to be able to sit with my grandfather right now. And that was kind of like a little like chiding, like, keep in mind, girl, he's 94. I don't want to say this might be your last, but this might be your last. But I had to sit down with her that night, and I was like, okay, I'm done the next night. I'm like, Claire, have you gotten anything for your father for Christmas? And she looked at me like, I'm like, you made such a big deal about getting a Secret Santa for your best friend and packaging it and taking care of it, and how excited you were, and you haven't gotten anything for your father? Well, I never get anything for dad. I'm like, Claire, you're 14. I was buying Christmas presents for my parents at 9 with my money, my Christmas money and my gift cards. You're at that age. This is the time when you need to start not thinking like a little kid and start thinking like an adult. And one of the things adults do is buy Christmas presents for the people they love, not just get Christmas presents from the people they love.
They should here's a list. Give each other a list.
Well, even so, and I can guarantee you, she's not buying her dad a Christmas present. Because, well, how am I going to buy him a Christmas present? I'm like, well, he's going to know. I mean, I use his card. I'm like, that's not what's important. What's important is that you bought him something to say, I love you. This is what Christmas is about. You give presents that you think, well, what if he doesn't like it? I don't know what to get him. It doesn't matter. Get him something you think he might like. It could be terrible. The important thing is you get him something. It could be a gift card, Claire. Get him a gift card to the Alamo movie house. Get him anything. Just get him something, because you can't go through your life taking and not giving. And I can guarantee you, and this was like she'd never heard this in her life before, never even considered it in her life before. That is the most oblivious 14-year-old. And she's like, I can't wait to drive. I'm like, no, I'm not driving on any road that you're on, kid. But yeah, she's very oblivious. So the fact that we walk out of a bathroom and there's no smoke billowing, maybe if there was smoke billowing, but the fact that we walk out of the bathroom together, it just goes right over her head.
No, you walk out.
That's the only way she might know something.
Yeah. AC Wraith said, in my day, we made Christmas presents for our parents and we liked it. They at least pretended to like it.
Yeah, that's the point.
He also says that like it. The cookies, I'm sorry, the cookies come from elves, not fairies. That is my bad.
True.
So anyway, and then Andrew says that our gifts are totally coming next year around Christmas time. And yeah, this was one long show.
What are we
we've
at?
Just been hanging out.
Yeah, been about like 3 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. And or she watches this podcast.
No, she doesn't watch the podcast. She doesn't have. Are you kidding? 3 hours and 30 minutes of that girl's mental space. She doesn't put that much energy. The only thing she puts that much energy is into Roblox and Genshin. Everything else, nope.
Okay, Roblox you don't need to bother with. Genshin Impact might be good. I remember that game like not being bad when I played it briefly years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I would say Genshin Impact is a good Breath of the Wild. Shots fired. Come at me, Nintendo.
That's some mighty big claim there. Question. Next year, she's not getting me a present. I've bought her very expensive presents for the last 2 years.
Okay.
Next year, do I get her a present?
Yeah, just like do it, but you don't have to like splurge. You don't have to go all out.
Well, it's not that I splurge or go out, but if she doesn't give her dad a present, she doesn't give me a present, doesn't give her grandpa a present for his birthday. All of us have birthdays. Grandpa, me, and his dad all have birthdays within 2 months of each other. Grandpa was the 15th. I'm the 22nd. Then there's
Yes.
Christmas. Then Chris is on the 23rd of January. So nobody's getting a present from Claire in the house. Is mom mad about something? Me? I'm not mom. I'm not mom. I'm girlfriend. I'm new girlfriend. Couple of years. No,
she's
no,
she's
no,
she's
no,
mom.
no. I think you do it because you want to, not because the other person chooses. Well, see, that's the thing, is that as a newcomer into the family, I'm seeing problematic
Your podcast
upbringing.
mom.
I'm the podcast mom. I'm seeing problematic upbringing that is, if it isn't explained to her now, will be explained to her will have repercussions in the future. Like I've told her that your college roommates are gonna fucking hate you, Claire, unless you learn how to do your own laundry and unless you learn how to take your plate in. I don't ask you to wash the dish at this point. I mean, I'm not asking for a miracle, but at least pick up your plate and bring it into the kitchen. And
Okay, wait,
yeah,
that's right.
no.
Doesn't this house like not have a dishwasher?
It has a dishwasher, but I mean, they don't
nobody
really
uses
use it. Nobody
Yeah,
really uses it
that's
'cause, I
bullshit.
mean,
No, what I don't know what the fuck is wrong. Use the dishwasher.
I do use the dishwasher when there's a lot of dishes, but
Don't wash things. But it's
I did.
2025. It's
I did that.
2025.
that.
We are
Actually,
not living in Kingdom Come deliverance times. We don't need to wash it by hand.
I did
Have
that
the
over PAX. I
machines
did
do it.
exactly that. I washed every dish and cleaned out the sink
Oh my
before I left for
God.
PAX. And when I came back from
Why?
PAX, the sink was full of dirty dishes. And I turned to Chris and said, I left this sink clean. I know I left it there, and I left it for another week. And at that point, they were eating out of Tupperware for bowls.
Well, okay. To be
And
fair,
that point,
no.
that was a point where I said, look, people have to start washing their dishes when they finish using them because I'm not washing those dishes. I left a week ago and it was full of dirty dishes when I got back, and I waited a week to see if anyone would wash a dish. And no one has washed a single dish.
Did anybody do it?
No. Chris finally did. Chris finally washed the dishes, and then he had a talk with his father that when you use a bowl, wash it. And
Okay.
his father's been really good about it because his father was the worst of he would literally rinse the bowl, rinse it, and then stick it. It's like, just put some soap on it and put it in the dish, in the rack.
Okay. So like, to be fair to the kid in this group,
It's a whole fucking family.
the other adults are like not really being good role
Well, no,
models.
Chris is great. Chris is actually really, really good. But I think that her mom just let her get away with shit a lot because her mom probably really, really loved being a mom and had not hit the age of where the daughter had not grown up. She liked keeping the daughter infantile. I mean, I don't want to disparage somebody that's dead and who can't defend herself, but I really think that the mom who should have been like, giving her life skills really didn't give her life skills. She kind of liked her little girl and kept her little girl and wanted her to be a princess and left her being a princess. And the thing is that now she's 14 and she's a princess. And she's now about to embark on a life when princess will not serve her well at all. And she will have no skills to be able to, like, if she doesn't know how to do a load of laundry, how the fuck is she ever going to learn how to do a load of laundry?
Oh, there's a fantastic scene in the show New Girl where a guy tries to figure out how to do laundry, and it's hilarious.
What is it? This is twice you've lied about the mom girlfriend thing, or you didn't and are from Alabama. Detroit doesn't accept this type of fairy. What? No, I'm not a mom. I have no kids. I'm a widow, and I'm dating a guy who is a widower who has at the time we started dating, 12-year-old daughter. Now she's 14. Nick is my friend who I've had for 13 or 14 years that we've been on this podcast. And we're just friends. We're just buddies. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm the girlfriend. The mom is dead. I'm ending up being like the female. I don't consider myself a mom at all. I'm completely unskilled, unprepared. I am in no way equipped to do this. But simply because I'm dating him and I'm over there all the time, I'm kind of the female presence. And I'm trying to like help guide her because I'm really the only like female presence in her life. So I'm kind of in that weird gray zone of like, I want to impart some wisdom, but at the same time, I don't have any authority to enforce it. So all I can do is kind of like, hey, you might want to think about getting your dad a Christmas present. You're 14 now.
I mean, do it. Like, that's all you can do, but do it. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Like, give her advice.
That's what happened. I have been. Yeah. I mean, last year on Christmas,
absolutely.
I did, you get your dad anything? I said, no, well, he really wants these shoes. And she's like, well, I don't know how to get those shoes. I ended up buying the fucking shoes for her and she put her name on it. I said, I'm not doing that this year for you. I spent $120 of money I really didn't have to spend on your Christmas present for your dad. You need to think about what you might want to get your dad for Christmas. Like,
you should just
2 weeks ago.
Have him give her a list. Tell him to do that. That way it cuts down that easier step. That's what my family always does. It's just like, here's a list. Don't stress out about anything. Just here's a list of stuff. And it's all simple stuff. That way we can have like a pile of presents under a tree with like no stress about, do they like it? What are they going to think? It's like, no, they told me they wanted this.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion I'd rather get something that is a surprise that I don't like than something I want that it isn't.
That's really way too much effort to put into.
Just get me something that you think I'll like. I'll probably love it. I'm easy. That's a good idea. Actually, next year I will do that. So Claire gets a Christmas present next year. But I am going to have to talk to Chris and say in November, you need to make a list and you need to give it to your daughter. So she needs to learn how to shop for Christmas presents and to think about these things.
Okay. And I gotta
not doing that.
Yeah. I got a clip to show you after the show's over because I don't want to get us DMCA'd.
For what?
Showing a clip of a TV show.
Oh, yeah. All right. So long show. Sorry, guys.
I mean,
before we close out the show?
Stop talking about games like 2 hours ago.
All right. Well, anything you want to impart before Christmas, because this is the last show before Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Peace, love, goodwill. No matter what kind of crap's going out on the street,
love,
or
and
in
goodwill,
your world.
except for Saudi Arabia. Don't trust the Saudis.
Don't trust the Saudis. But even with that, just at least take some time to, and then this is like old lady impart wisdom. Take some time that even the people that drive you completely fucking nuts over the holidays, they might not be here someday soon, and there will be a day in your life when you look back and go, God damn, I wish they were here to annoy me so bad that I had to take Vicodin to get through the night.
Okay, gee, I've never been in that situation.
That was the moment that I knew that I wanted to marry my husband, was when I was making Thanksgiving dinner and he's like, I've got a Vicodin. And he's like, give it to me. And that was the best Thanksgiving I ever had. I was so high, just off my balls on Vicodin. And I was like, this is the best Thanksgiving ever. And that man gets me. So
that's what you do for Christmas. Just all that weed that you do in the bathroom, pass it out to the whole family.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be fun.
Enjoy, and don't think about the things that you don't have. Think about the things that you do have. And even when they're at their worst, you have them. So please have a wonderful, safe, and if take an hour, just even if it's an hour of peaceful time for yourself to reflect upon that we're all here, we're all together, we all love games, we're all your friends. You've got a family here, sometimes we have to make the family we choose rather than the family we're born with to actually feel like family. I have you, my family. I've had you for a lot of years, and I very much consider you family. And if I win the Powerball tonight, we're all getting rich.
Is it up to anything worthwhile?
Powerball?
Yeah.
It's like $1.5 billion.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like I would have heard something about that.
Ooh, it's a big one. So anyone have a great thanks. Have a great Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy whatever you are celebrating at this time. And if you're celebrating nothing, I wish you the most peaceful and silent of nights that I could possibly. And I wish you good health and good sleep. Because
yes,
to be honest, I'd
sleep.
rather have sleep than health. All right, everyone. Wait for it. Let's close this out. Thank you for listening to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 802. We recorded this on December 21st, 2025. I'm Edie Sellers. With me has been Nick DiNicola. Ways to get a hold of us, gamehounds.net. Gamehounds.net is our website. Gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. If you ever want to watch us live, we record live every Sunday at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. On Facebook and Twitch, we are The Gamehounds. On YouTube, we are Gamehounds Vids, all one word, VIDS, as in videos. Please join us. You can be in the chat room. Thank you to all of the new listeners who came in, especially early on in the show. Loved seeing you. Thank you for chiming in. It was awesome. And yeah, we did have a little bit of thirst for the Nick boy earlier, which I found hilarious. But thank you for joining us. Now, if you're ever listening to this show, if you're ever listening to this show on you want to listen to it in your car and where you don't have to watch it, you can always listen to it as a podcast. GameHounds podcast can be found on Apple Podcasts or any of the other podcast forums like iHeartRadio, or you can even listen to it, I believe, on Audible, on Alexa, on Google devices. All those things were all available, so go ahead and listen to us there. If you do listen to us or watch us on any of those places, please leave us some feedback, a comment, especially on Apple Podcasts. Go in there and tell us what you think. It does help, whether it's good or bad. If it's bad, we can get some feedback and let us know how we can make improvements. If it's good, it's nice to see your name and know that people out there still like us. You like me. You really like me. Thank you so much for everybody who has done that. And if you are on any of our live streams right now, please give us a like, thumbs up, star, subscribe, do all those things. Speaking of things you can subscribe to, we have our Discord. Our Discord server is where we all live and we all want to be there. Nick and I are on it all the time. Discord is on the screen right now, or if you are in any of the various places we are, you can find a Discord link there. Join us on Discord, or just go to Discord and look for GameHounds. We'll be there. Also, we are 100% Patreon funded. Yes, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/GameHounds. Please feel free to join us. $1 a month is all we ask. It helps pay for all the subscriptions to keep all of this running. To all of us, we have nothing free, we have nothing special, but to all of you who have given us over the years, thank you so much. You have made a difference. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving, hope you have a great Christmas, we have great holidays, and thanks so much to AC Ray for being our link bitch and for providing us everything for being everything that we're not, responsible. Have a happy holidays, everyone. Bye-bye.
I just want to add before we go, according to Andrew, YouTube was promoting us a lot this time. And I think it's because of the orgies.